Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, utter confusion at our intro, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I'm Mr. Jason Roscom. With me here each and every single week, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How are you? Hey.
Hey, I'm still trying to figure. I tested the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I heard it play.
Yeah.
Over my headphones.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it didn't do it.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's very weird.
For you listening, watching this live on YouTube, did you hear the countdown music at all, or did you just see the numbers? Because we're not hearing it in our headphones when we normally do.
Can anyone hear us?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Can you hear me?
I mean, we've only been doing this for how many years?
Can you hear
Six
me
years?
running?
And I don't know. We still
Can you hear
can't.
me running? Can you hear me calling you? I didn't even know I knew that song.
I don't even know what that song is.
I don't either.
Oh my god.
It's just random synapse.
All right. All right. Before we get too far off track, what are we talking about today?
So we're doing a little Ahsoka catch up.
Yes.
2 pretty big episodes of Ahsoka.
Fucking right.
And yeah, we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna get caught up.
Yes.
And
just in time for the new episode to drop tomorrow.
yes, exactly. So it'll all be so fresh. You know what the advantage is to doing it like this, though? We are not by this point, even with the spoilers, because we're gonna talk about spoilers.
Yeah.
Even with the spoilers, people that are watching this show right now, by this time they've probably watched it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
there's going to be stragglers, but most people are trying to watch it right away because the way social media is these days, like,
you have to.
You have to almost immediately.
Fuck, man. The day that I'm so glad that Kristen and I watched the last episode, part 5, the night it debuted, because like that next morning, all over the fucking internet were all these like fucking spoilers and thumbnails and shit for the episode. I'm like, God damn, guys, you couldn't even wait.
I know it's too hot to fucking handle when to wait any longer. And I did the same thing with episode 5. I watched it that night.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll wait till morning, and then it was like, it's gonna get spoiled.
Yeah.
And it was too big.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was going to be too big to wait. So I was just like, fuck it. And I watched it that night. So, yeah, we're going to talk about Ahsoka.
Yeah, but, you know, to your point, like guys like the Escape Pod, you know, they can kind of have a leg up when it comes to talking about the shit as soon as it comes out because they go on Wednesdays. But the other side of that coin is, you know, some people may not have seen it at that point.
Right.
And then they wouldn't tune in. So, yeah, at this point, you know, everybody who's watching us should have seen these fucking episodes by now. So we don't have to really.
So what you're saying is that we're better than the Escape Pod.
Oh, well, that's a given.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make that clear that that's what we were getting at.
Yeah. We're not better looking, though. They've got us in that department.
Fair
but,
enough.
I mean,
Brady has the hair.
I know. It's
and the height.
Yeah.
But Don is a ginger, so.
Aren't you a ginger?
No.
Essentially?
Not really. No.
Okay.
I have brown hair.
All right. Fair enough.
I look like every other person in Ireland. Like, literally. Like, if you drop me in the middle of fucking Shannon, Ireland, like, or Limerick, you would never find me.
Okay.
I look like every other one of them. Like, teeth not quite right, fucking blue eyes, brown hair, average height. You'd never find me.
Okay.
Trust me.
All right. I'll believe you. Fuck. What do we do now? Patreon, right?
Yes. You do the Patreon.
All right.
What am I call it?
What?
Huh?
Are you okay?
No.
All right. We'd like to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons: Carly Vickers, Catherine Rennick, Dragon Buddy, David Schmuck, Frederick Martin, Shotgun Mark, Chantal from Pop My Culture, Wally Frogmore, Janine Vickers, my wonderful mother-in-law, Patricia Goodstein, Nick from Swede Studio, Scott and Kim from the Use and Abuse podcast, Frank Kalevich, Kristen Roscom, Don Solsky, Lord Helmetfire, Ivo G, The Orange and Fett Show, Steve Long, Tina Land, and our newest patron, Sterling Azier.
There you go.
If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/thesidebarcantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we do this.
So, Helmet Fire's in the chat, by the way.
Ah, nice.
And
I called him Lord. I gave him his props.
yes, you did. You did everything you needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. I sent him a text earlier today or last night. Might have been last night. And it's weird. Like, yeah, you have an iPhone, right? And
As I've had for
ever
a decade and a half. Yes.
Yeah. And when you can update your contact picture, and when you're chatting with somebody, it'll pop up and say they've updated their contact photo and name or whatever. Do you want to update it?
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of people that keep way up to date with that. And when I updated for Helmet Fire, it changed it to like for Vickers, it changed it to Helmet Fire.
Sure.
I was like, that's fun, but it's remarkable, like that the technology is so quick.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm going to update this, so now everyone is going to change in their shit
At the speed of light.
Yeah, and if it wasn't in like in the favorited part already, and I was like, oh, I'm going to text him. I'm like, wait a minute. Fuck, why isn't he showing up? It's just a scroll, and then I have to remember that he changed it to Helmet Fire. That's a good way to keep from getting random texts, I guess.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. That kind of reminded me of the gong, the guy from Andor, the dong, dong, had the echo.
Or that part of in Thriller.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Jackson. Can everyone hear that? I'm very easily distracted tonight.
No, wait, that was Beat It.
Oh, that was Beat It. You're right. I don't know. I'm not big on my Michael Jackson.
Right. Okay, so Patreon, you got any sidebar headlines?
Of course I do.
All right, well, what you
Do
got?
I have the notes up? No, I do not. Let's see. I'll refresh this, even though I shouldn't have it because it still said the Giants are the worst team in football. But now it's changed. It's updated to our fantasy football league is completely squirrely. But as of week 1, it looks like Chewy's Angels, managed by Kristen Roscom, is in the lead.
Yeah.
And she's beating me right now, by the by.
Yeah.
By I need the Pittsburgh defense and Olave to get like 12 or 15 points in order for me to beat your wife.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, we didn't mention last week when we did the show that you beat me in week 1.
I may have slid it in casually.
Okay, I'm ladies.
Yeah, you picked that up, but you didn't pick up on me beating your wife.
Oh no, I got
Just
that one.
let that one go.
Yeah,
fair enough. I did beat you last week.
Yeah. And then I got destroyed this week. It's not looking good for the legacy. I'll just say that.
It's not. Honestly, it's fucking. Excuse me. This Diet Coke's been sitting in the studio for a while. Yeah, this fantasy football season's been so fucking wacky.
Mm-hmm.
I had Cam Akers, who gets fucking benched or put on the what the hell is it called? The
injured reserve?
No, he was
Pup
no
unable to perform.
No, he just was fucking a healthy scratch.
Oh,
because they're gonna trade him or something.
Oh,
so he was just like fucking all of a sudden an hour before the game, like no, he's not playing.
Wow.
Like no injury report, no nothing, just no, he's not playing. Like, oh, really? Like, fuck me. So yeah, fucking bitches. Anyway, so yeah, props to Kristen, always swinging that toaster. If you aren't into football, those aren't the droids you're looking for. You can go about your business. Move along. That's it. That's all we had.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I have a day in Star Wars today. We haven't done one of these in a while. Hey, and this is an interesting one. This was, hold on, fucking, I had the goddamn app up. So this was exactly 10 years ago today. Any guesses as to what it was?
10 years ago today.
Yes.
So it would have been 2013.
Correct. Don't hurt yourself.
I don't know.
Okay. Angry Birds Star Wars 2 was released.
Ah.
Yeah, so this was just about a year after the first one was released,
Right.
which we all know the stories surrounding the first one
Yes.
coming out.
Erection inducing.
And, you know, after I saw this, because I didn't play a whole lot of the second one. I played the shit out of the first one. I think I finished the first one. But I got the second one when it first came out. And I don't know. At that point, I think my Angry Birds interest had just, you know, kind of started to fade.
Right.
Because I was heavy into the first one. I was heavy into the space one, heavy into the first Star Wars one. After that, it's like, okay, that's enough. Now it's all about Plants vs. Zombies or whatever the next big thing was.
Right.
And yeah, haven't really thought about it much since. But I went on my phone after I saw that day in Star Wars. I'm like, I wonder if I can still just download and play the original 2 Angry Birds Star Wars. Sure as shit, they're still on my account. Downloaded them both, and I can play them.
It's the original ones?
Yeah, yeah. And like not the fucking free-to-play nonsense that they changed them to.
Yeah, it's like the updates are... It's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, the OG ones are the ones that I would want to play.
Yeah, yeah. The original Angry Birds Star Wars was fucking
it was
beautiful.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And the second one, I mean, it was fine from what I remember. They added a shitload more to it. But again, by the time the second one came out, it was like, okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we've got a history with the Angry Birds Star Wars games, so I figured that was worth bringing up.
Absolutely. That's fucking hilarious.
Yep. But that's really it. We ready to get into our weeks?
Sure, why not?
All right. Well, as always, I have an addition to a few additions, mind you. So if I don't know if you can see on the video, but all of my loose figures are all up and displayed. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see on the YouTube, but you can see them kind of behind Dave's head, kind of behind me, and then up here. Yeah, I've got all these loose ones now, and then back here. It's a problem, and it's only getting worse apparently. So here we go. So first of all, I've got one of the Dark Trooper. I moved him. He used to be like front and center over here. Now he's over there on top of the speeder bike. The Dark Trooper from Mandalorian.
Sacred Jedi.
What?
Did you guys hear it that time?
Huh, I wonder if they're not hearing my my effects. That would be unfortunate. All right, anyway, while Dave figures out things on the soundboard. So anyway, got the Dark Trooper, you know, a ways back. It's fucking badass looking, but it was an expensive one because, you know, it's kind of like a deluxe figure. It's a little bit bigger.
Right.
So they were able to justify charging anywhere from $30 to $40 for it, depending on where you went. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's just going to be the one sealed one for me, and that's it. Well, last week, Amazon had them on sale for like $16 each. So I'm like, okay, well, then I guess I might as well get 2 to open. So I got 2 Dark Troopers for $16 on Amazon to open. So it was essentially half off. And yeah, these guys are fucking badass. I love that scene where Mando's fighting him. It's the season 2 finale where he was like fighting one basically hand to hand and like had him against the wall and is like fucking punching the shit out of his face into the wall. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, that was like badass.
Dancing into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And Mandalorian.
What
again.
the fuck?
What?
Hang on.
What? No way. Somebody's Walmart has Dark Troopers for $7. I haven't seen a Dark Trooper in a Walmart in a long time. Where do you live, GeForce Racing 20?
37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
There's a Gilster 37 in the chat.
Nice.
37.
Oh my god. Okay, so anyway, 2 Dark Troopers to open.
The sacred Jedi.
Then I got another one to open. One of the holiday from last year, guys, was cheap somewhere. I can't remember. It might have been Amazon. But yeah, it's the Scout Trooper with fucking Grogu. You know, the Scout Trooper that
the one that
like
punched Grogu
bopping him in the
bag.
head in the Christmas garb. So
Popping him in the head.
yeah.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed. Oh, that's great.
Yep. And then this one is one I'm going to keep in the package. This is the last one.
He's got a sweater with Grogu on it. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the holiday ones are in like holiday sweaters. It's pretty funny. So the last one is, so I know I mentioned either last week or the week before how some Black Series figures like that are similar to the ones that are in the old Kenner one were in the old Power of the Force from the 90s.
Yeah.
Backs, well, I decided to pick one up. And it was a cheap one. It was Princess Leia, but it's in that old Power of the Force
my
style
God.
packaging.
Oh my God.
And there's a whole series of these. But I figured I'd grab the Throne Room Leia because I think I actually had that Leia in that fucking Power of the Force packaging back in the 90s.
Complete with a medal for Chewie not to wear.
Yeah.
Chewie got his reward later, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, we later learned that Chewie was laying pipe all over the galaxy, so I don't think he really cared too much about his medal.
They don't got Leia stacked enough in this.
No, it's
Dude, that is
yeah.
some of the earliest Dave masturbation material is right there.
Well, that's not exactly where I was expecting this conversation to go, but hey, whatever. Yeah, but I love I love these fucking you said it, not me. These retro style packaging for these fucking figures.
Yeah.
And I know I said I was going to stop at the Return of the Jedi ones, but I don't think it's going to stop there.
The Power of the Force ones are actually it's funny because it's like, oh man, it seems too new, but it's not.
No,
it
no,
really isn't.
Yeah, no, we're talking 25 plus years ago at this point.
Jesus, I have some TIE pilots in the Power of the Force that are still in the package.
Yeah,
Small ones.
so small.
My penis is so smooth.
Jesus Christ, Dave.
My penis is so smooth.
Oh, Dave.
Oh God.
So that's it. That's my additions to the Sacred Black series, and I don't really have anything else for my week. I've been playing a lot on my Steam Deck. Love my fucking Steam Deck.
Yeah,
I'm pushing it on anybody I can.
Yeah, he walked into the studio while I was setting up, and he's like balls deep into a game of Tetris on his Steam Deck. Mm-hmm. It's like he's like, I love this thing. Ah,
Yeah.
like yeah, motherfucker, rub it in.
But that's it. That's been my week. I'm excited to talk Ahsoka. So
I'll bet you are, as you should be. Let's see. I got a bag of stuff
oh boy.
that I meant to actually get out the other day. So, a friend of mine, she works at one of the high schools locally, and I guess their library was getting rid of a bunch of shit, and she knows I'm a Star Wars fan, so she's like, "Oh, hey, do you want some of this stuff?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do."
Yeah.
So, do the less obvious ones first, I guess. So these are a couple of the DVDs they were chucking.
Pirates of the Caribbean and Night at the Museum. Nice.
Right. Which, sidebar, even though it's my week and it kind of counts as part of my week, but whatever. That CD player, I got a CD player from GW, which I actually have a video to post for the Restoration Station thing about that CD player.
Oh,
I just
okay.
realized I didn't post it. Whoops. Anyway, I got a CD player, a Sony CD player to kind of match with my head unit.
Sure.
And for $10 at the GW, it was beat up. Like aesthetically, it was kind of beat up. But took it home, tested it, works good. So, and it also plays DVDs too. I'm like, cool. So now I have an alternate way to play it, because in my mind, I'm regressing back towards the want to be able to play things off network.
Oh, you mean that thing that you gave me a lot of shit for years ago when I was talking about wanting physical copies of all the Star Wars movies? And I said, well, what happens if Apple ever goes down?
Which?
And you gave me a ton of shit for that.
Yeah, and I still will, because I don't think it's going to happen. But just in case. So here's another one.
The Mummy on VHS.
On VHS.
Woo! This is a VHS, kids.
Yeah.
We watched them a lot back in the day.
Yeah, and here's another on VHS.
Aw,
this one's
shit.
actually
Last Crusade.
The Last Crusade, my favorite Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And the piece de resistance.
How much do you want to bet it's not rewound? Oh, fuck, it is. Huh. Ooh. Oh, the original special editions on VHS.
Yeah.
This was the first ever printing of the special editions on home video.
Yeah, they're very. The box is pretty sexy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, with the gold.
Yeah,
And-
and it was all gold on the inside,
Yeah.
like this.
Unless you bought the widescreen version, which was silver, which is what I had.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't bother with the widescreen. Although, did we? I don't know, because I had the. Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello.
I can hear you.
I lost an ear.
Is your wire coming loose? Oh my god. Again, we're professionals, people. We've been doing this for 6 years, and we've got our shit together. Are you all right?
I got one ear.
You got one ear. Hold on. Well, then it's.
I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna deal with it.
Now, I'm gonna fix this. All right, how about now?
My penis so smooth.
Just one ear.
What the fuck, man?
I don't know what happened.
What did you do?
It's this ear is it's there, but it's like.
You gotta like adjust the how you doing there.
Yeah, it's not.
Just shove it in there.
Just push it real hard.
Yeah, just treat it like your woman and just shove it in.
Test.
Any better?
Nope. It's okay.
What
We're
the
press.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. So yes, the special editions are what they are. However, it's VHS. It is a part of history.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So, and I guarantee you, they're not as abused as a copy that would have been in a rental store or
Yeah.
anything else, because they were in a school library. So,
Nice.
figure they would make a nice addition to the sacred somethings,
The sacred Jedi.
whatever's.
I like how you just stop it.
Yeah, just stop. So yeah, pretty cool. I also, so I have the Xbox Game Pass,
Yes.
and I started playing Starfield.
That's right. That's on Game Pass.
Yeah, and it's neat,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so like, dude, there's so much that I have to do in that game. Like I just, it's kind of overwhelming, because I know, like, as I'm getting into the game, like, I know that there's probably hundreds of hours that I need to spend in the game that I'm not going to be able to.
Right.
Like, aesthetically, it's very nice. I like the openness of the world, and as you're like kind of walking around in towns and stuff, and how like there's so many extra people and shit like that. Like, you can tell it's a very well put together game. It's all right, I got it. But saying all that, fuck me, it's gonna, like, I've only got like a month before I'm gonna be.
Oh, right. The Masters
Yeah, so
program.
I'm like, I'll get as much into it as I can,
Yeah.
but
So is that where you're throwing your spare time at this point?
you
Your
know,
gaming time, I should say.
It depends on if I need to kill people and break stuff, which leads me into my next thing. So, had this charge on my debit card, right? Raging. We're going to talk about raging
Oh, I just happen to notice that I can't hear the static anymore.
at all.
No.
Weird.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, fucking weird.
Anyway, you're angry.
So the where's the other headphone cord?
Mine?
Yeah,
It's this one right here.
where's the other one?
Oh, it's probably in this drawer.
Look for that while I'm starting this story.
All
So
right.
had a charge. It was like from Citizens Bank Park, which, you know, it was while I was at work on a Friday. This is the same Friday that I was telling you about before we went live.
Okay.
So I had this this fucking Friday thing charge show up, and I'm like, I didn't know. I'm not at Citizens Bank Park today, and didn't buy any tickets. And if we did buy tickets, it would say Philadelphia Phillies on it, not Citizens Bank Park. So we're trying to investigate like how we got to this charge to show up, and then I'm like, well, could not find anything. I went through all my accounts, went through all my emails and everything else, and it's like, nope, there's this. We should not have this charge, right?
Right.
So Kathy's like, well, it was your card. Could you call the bank? I'm like, fine. So because she was working too, or she had schoolwork or whatever.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I'll call. So I call up USA, right?
Mm-hmm.
I call them up, and I use the 800 number, and when you call USA, like I would imagine most banks, it's hey, this is the automated thing.
Yeah, well, all kinds of menus before you can talk to a person.
We recognize your phone, enter your phone PIN, like because I'm using my phone and it recognizes it, but there's a special PIN because you're using your phone.
Sure.
Like, yeah. So I put that PIN number in, right?
Okay.
It's like, oh, we have verified that it's you, and this is a phone on your account. How can we help you? And I say dispute a charge, and it says, oh, you want to dispute a charge? Stand by, and it puts me on a brief hold, and I come out of said brief hold to speak with this woman, and I say, hey, I have a charge I'd like to dispute, and she says, okay. She puts me on a brief hold, and she comes back and she says, okay, well, what's your phone PIN? And I give it to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, okay, well, what's your phone password? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, your phone password. I said, I don't remember ever setting up a phone password.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before in my life.
Right. And she's like, I'm like, no. So she says, no, there's a phone password. I'm like, I don't have any recollection of what that password could be.
Sure.
I don't remember setting one up. And I was like, is there a hint? Like, if I set it up, is there like a password hint that I could do? And she's like, no. I'm like, then
you got to verify some other way.
Yeah. No. She wouldn't verify any other way.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
So you can never
So
contact customer service again.
So I'm like, okay. Well, I don't remember what the password is, so we need to figure something out here. So she puts me on another hold, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I ask her about a hint or whatever. She puts me on another hold. She comes back and says, oh, your password is a word. Right?
Wow. Okay.
That's so fucking helpful. And I don't know. Every fucking thing I've ever set up with that has had this like kind of verification has had some sort of hint because people are human.
Yeah.
And they forget things.
Yeah.
And usually like with your bank that has, I don't know, all of your fucking information.
Mm-hmm.
To include your social security number, your fucking bank account information, like all of it.
Yeah, yeah. There's a million ways to verify who you are.
Never once have I been asked over the phone, not that I use the phone to call my bank all that often, because I don't, because there's the internet, but they won't let you dispute a charge over the fucking internet. So I fucking had to call them, and now I'm going through this bullshit. So she comes back, and I'm like, look, I don't know the password. So can I reset it? Whatever it might be. She said no. And I'm like, okay, well now what?
Right.
I was like, I've been banking with you for 30 years. So now you're telling me that I just can't use the phone to talk to you? I can't dispute this charge because I don't remember this password that I never remember setting up in the first place? Like, what exactly do you expect me to do here?
Yeah.
Like, you're not giving me any options. And she's like, well, this is for your protection. I'm like, the fuck it is. Like, what are you protecting me from?
Yeah.
Like, there should be another way to verify who I am. You
Yeah.
have all of my information. I've had my account there since 1993.
Yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous. I was like, she's like, well, there's nothing I can do if you don't give me your password. I'm like, okay, I'll tell you what you can do. I said, you can put me on the phone with your supervisor. And she's like, well, I don't have anybody available. I'm like, no. She said, no, there's like two. She gave me like these two options. Like, no, those aren't the options. The options are that you can put me on the phone with your supervisor now. That's your option. I'll hold. Right? So she puts me on hold. I'm on hold for like 5 minutes. Meanwhile, I am fucking boiling. Like I said to Jason, before this, I had some fun at work where I got to let my blood boil a little bit. And then this was added to that afterwards. And so I was already kind of wound up. And this just was fucking unfucking believable. So she comes back on the line and she tells me that she can't let me talk to her supervisor until I'm authenticated with my password. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
I can't talk to your supervisor until I give you this password.
Right.
I said, that's correct. I was like, you still understand that I need to dispute this charge and I need to be able to fucking do this. How do I reset the goddamn password?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you should be able to reset it online. Which I'm like, no, the way you said that, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Because you're just trying to get rid of me now.
Yeah.
Because I'm borderline screaming into the phone.
Right.
Or I'm using my best. Like, if you were in front of me, I'd be stomping you into the fucking ground, you fucking cunt. Like, how fucking, dude, there is a level of incompetence that I get it. All right. I never did get through, by the way. There's no fucking password. You can't reset your password online. Nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. When Kathy called USA, they never asked for a fucking password. They validated her with her fucking social security number.
Go figure.
Yeah, because that's how banks work.
So maybe you just had like some fucking retard.
Yeah.
Taking your call.
Either she's in training or a window licker or whatever, but I hired a candy hat. They're fun to watch.
Right.
But regardless, like, you are in customer service. I called this fucking number as a customer of your fucking bank. A bank that I've been with for 30 fucking years. And, I was mildly annoyed until she started fucking up my name. Like, she started with Mr. Martin, fine. Then calling me Mr. Dave.
Okay.
What the fuck? And then I was Sergeant Dave. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Can you fucking read? Can you actually fucking read? Like, what did they pull you out of the fucking slums somewhere with no intelligence whatsoever and put you in front of this thing and said, okay, here's your decision tree. And if you don't meet these decisions, then you can't do anything.
Right.
And when I ask you, hey, phone a fucking friend, get somebody else over there, you're incapable of fucking bringing somebody to me because you can't validate me with a fucking password? Fuck you. I legitimately, like, I used to fucking tell everybody hey, USA used to be the fucking tits. But about 10 years ago, when they started doing fucking commercials and started bringing in every fucking jamoke that they could fucking get. Now, you can't watch a goddamn commercial without fucking watching goddamn Gronkowski or some other fucking asshole who's not even fucking eligible to be a member selling the goddamn product.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need you motherfuckers that don't have the ability to even be members to fucking have anything to do with the product. I don't give a shit.
That commercial with Gronk is really bad too. Like, he is
so,
not a good actor.
It's so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to sell a product to people that can't get it? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sponsor the Army Navy game. Like, be involved with the fucking military. I don't need to see you on the fucking NFL network on a commercial every fucking 15 minutes.
Right.
It's not helping you fucking become a better company. It's not helping you with your customers, because I've watched it get worse every fucking year. You're not getting any cheaper. Your customer service is going to shit, and you're losing customers consistently.
Yeah.
I know your auto insurance. I'm watching people fucking go to other companies because other companies are more competitive now. Like Geico, for sure, has like directly looks at USA and go like, oh no, we can definitely beat them.
Yeah.
And they have military discounts and everything else. Like, I can no longer say that like, oh yeah, you definitely should go use USA. Use fucking Navy Federal. Use fucking something else. Don't expect to use USA and find good customer service. It's not there.
It used to be. That used to be like one of their.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. And I would stand by that. But anymore, this is not an isolated incident.
Yeah.
But I've watched the product go downhill as they fucking they got too big. And now they've diluted the product. It's like any other fucking thing. It's like Disney, it's like Marvel, it's like all this other fucking bullshit. Now we all get huge and too big for our fucking britches. Now we got Ron Gronkowski doing a fucking commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I can't be a member, but but look at me, I'm selling the fucking product. Fuck you.
They should have taken his salary and put it into customer service.
When you this
Dragon
she probably is.
Oh God.
This is a testament to the lack of customer service just in general right now. Most people that you encounter these days, they don't understand what customer service is. Like, they don't give a fuck about their jobs. They don't give a fuck about the company they work for, because that company doesn't give a fuck about them. So why should they care? Why should they care about their fucking company that isn't giving anything to them?
Yeah.
Right? So why the fuck do they care? They're going to make their money. They're fucking going to go home. That fucking stupid bitch, she hung up with me and fucked up somebody else's life right after mine. And then she went home and fucking collected her paycheck and then woke up the next morning and did it again.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not like I could talk to a supervisor to fucking let them know that fucking Twinkle Tits couldn't do her fucking job.
Yeah.
I have no way to actually notify somebody that, hey, you suck. They didn't bother to send me an email to say, hey, do you want to take a survey to tell us how good this transaction was? Oh, I would love to, USA. I would love to. I would actually love to get on Twitter and tell you how fucking bad you were at your fucking customer service, and how that I'm seriously considering pulling all of my products out of your fucking company and telling you to go fuck yourself. That's because that's where I'm at. The last thing I need in my fucking life right now is for the company and the bank that I've had for 30 fucking years to treat me like shit.
Yeah.
When you have so much ability to not to.
Yep.
This is not like I was asking for something huge. I'm asking you to validate who I am. You have all the resource to do it, and yet you choose not to.
Yeah, again, this must have just been somebody they plucked right off the streets, put her in front of a phone.
I don't fucking care. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. I'm tired. Kathy did the same thing. I'm tired of people making excuses for these fucking idiots that don't do their goddamn job. Do your fucking job. Is it that? Are my expectations too fucking high for people to do? Just, if you're asked to do a fucking job, just do your goddamn job. Your job is to fucking help customers get logged in. Oh, I can't get you to this point. Let me see how I can do it. Oh, you're a customer for 30 years. Let me see how I can get us to the next point.
Yeah.
Or do you look at it and go like, oh, this guy's been here for 30 years. Fuck him. He's not going to go anywhere. Let's try and get the next person on.
Sure.
Let's try and get some other fucking idiot who saw Rob Gronkowski and was like, oh, I want to be part of USA too. Maybe my grandfather's sister's brother's former roommate would had USA. Maybe I can get it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, hopefully you got that charge reimbursed.
Yeah, because Kathy called.
Right.
and actually, I guess, spoke with somebody that had an IQ above fucking, I don't know, turtle. Oh, dude, Friday was not a good day.
I can tell. Do you need help?
Nope.
All right. Dave was trying a new cord for his headset.
Yeah.
Remember, just shove it in there. You don't have to butter anything up.
All right.
Is it better?
Nope.
What the fuck? So your headset is just dead.
Maybe.
Oh.
Don't we have another headset?
Actually, yeah. We got Bob's. You can try this one.
Well, it's not like it's his. It's just
Right.
the one he uses.
Well, he was the only one who had used it up to this point.
Well, I'm going to run my dick on it and he's going to use it again.
I'll be sure to let him know that.
Bob, I fucking rub my balls all over this one.
All right. How about now?
Nope, still the same.
What in the motherfuck? What did you do?
I didn't do anything. You saw me sitting here.
You had to have done something.
As long as it sounds fine to everyone else, then fuck them.
All right, whatever.
I just have to deal with it.
Yep.
Well, here, give Bob his headset back so I don't fucking... I'm not tempted to rub my balls on it anymore.
Oh, shit. Are you done?
I'm fucking done.
All right. So, do you need a break or anything before we get into the main topic?
Yes.
All right. Well, then
Let's take a break.
Yeah, apparently you're gonna have to do it though because my soundboard doesn't work. Dragon Buddy said you smashed the soundboard too many times.
I didn't smash shit. This one?
Oh my god, do you know what you're doing?
No.
Oh god.
I don't have Lando.
This is what we've come to.
Which page is Lando on?
I don't fucking remember. It's like the second one.
We'll cut all this out for the podcast.
You had it right there. Colt 45.
That's the third one.
No, that's the second one. Oh, well, okay, yeah. So anyway, we're going to take a very quick break and be right back after this word from our sponsors.
Where is it?
Oh my God, Dave.
37. My girlfriend
No.
sucked 37
Do you know how to read? You see Colt 45 right there?
Do it live.
And he's just going to leave it playing.
Is it still playing?
Yes. Oh my God, this guy's killing me. Okay. We will get back to it though. So yeah, look at this. Look at that. For anybody who was collecting Star Wars toys in the 90s, you recognize that packaging, the power of the Force. I had so many of these. Until very recently, I had so many of these still in the package from the original 90s thing. And then, of course, the Dark Troopers. Can't wait to get a couple of these guys out of the package. Though I'm running out of space for my loose figures. So obviously we've got the package stuff in their boxes and everything. And the loose figures, I've just kind of got on these ledges that have some empty space. But I'm pretty much out of room when it comes to display. Unless I can start getting rid of the shit that's in front of those pops up there. But then that would mean Babu would have to go, which I don't want to. I don't want to kick Babu out.
Man, it is so nice outside.
I know.
I never did do this.
I got a text. What the hell? So yeah, GeForce in the chat sent an image, and sure as shit, there's a Dark Trooper for $750. Motherfucker. Did he ever say where he lived?
North Carolina, I think.
Caroline.
There's a different headphone.
Yeah, maybe you're just not plugged into the right one. I don't fucking know.
I mean, I don't think it matters.
All right, how about now?
That's the same.
So you just can't hear at it. I can't hear out of my left ear. Turn my headphones up.
Turn my headphones up.
The sacred.
Oh. I didn't know the Colt 45 had a longer thing.
It doesn't. It's just Colt 45. It's a dynamite taste. That's all that's in there.
What did you say was still running?
the nighttime is the right time.
Oh, I didn't know I hit that. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. Jason, check your Walmart clearance.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Actually, you know what? Fuck, while we're talking about it, let me just go to walmart.com.
Walmart.com. It's a dynamite taste.
My penis so smooth.
It's weird, man. Why the sudden...
Because it's us. We can never not have some sort of audio fucking issues.
It's weird, though.
Online, they have the Dark Troopers for $20. I guess I'd have to find them in store. Oh, well. Whatever. All right, we're ready to get back to it. We got a lot of shit to talk about with Ahsoka. So,
Yeah.
When you're ready, do a countdown. And we're back. So, you okay? What'd I miss?
Hang on. Wait. Let me get to the comments in the chat
Okay.
real quick.
Twinkle Tits is to blame for the audio issues.
Yeah, apparently. It's just my left ear, so maybe it's just my left ear.
Turn my headphones up.
Turn my headphones up.
My man got shot in his ear like 8 times. From the... What happened? Oh, is the beat gonna drop? So, we've got some Ahsoka to talk about.
Yeah.
Episodes 4 and 5 came out over the last 2 weeks, and holy shit. Did a lot happen. So, I think we just need to get right into it. Well, first of all, okay. I can't remember if I talked about my Ahsoka PTSD theory here on the show.
I don't think so.
Okay, so because I've seen a lot of people online talk about like how Rosario Dawson's kind of had a very kind of like bland portrayal of Ahsoka up to this point. This was like up to episode 3 where she was just very unintense, just kind of very dry delivery. And my theory is this. You think about how much like the Ahsoka that we've seen up to this point. We've seen very, very little of her after her fight with Vader in Rebels, if you really think about it. Because she had that fight with Vader at the end of Rebels Season 2, right? We think she's dead for like an entire season and a half or whatever, until Ezra fucking saves her in The World Between Worlds.
Right.
Right? We don't see her again in fucking Rebels until that last shot where she's picking up Sabine and they're beating feet out of there. So you have not seen Ahsoka really at all since that fight with Vader.
Right.
Which you think about the fucking emotional impact that probably had on her. That whole sequence where she realized that Vader really was Anakin and she fought him. She had the whole thing where she fucking cut off part of his mask and, you know, she actually saw him in the fucking face.
Right.
And, you know, the trauma and the shocked, you know, look on her face when she realized it was him, and all of that probably left a pretty fucking deep scar on her.
Yeah.
To the point where she, probably is suffering from some pretty serious PTSD if she wasn't already from her fucking time in the Clone Wars and everything else.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, and then actually coming face to face with your former master who is turned into like the most evil motherfucker in the universe. So yeah, that's my theory for why she's, at least in those first few episodes of the season, so kind of different, kind of dry and kind of a bit of a downer of a character, as you know, opposed to her more lively previous versions from Rebels and Clone Wars.
Well, I mean, I think it's there to portray some maturity too, right? Like,
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously, she's older.
Yeah.
Now she's a much more mature character.
Yeah. What?
I just saw Dave does that chick's voice sometimes. What?
Okay. So yeah, no, I just wanted to throw that out there because that's kind of been my theory since the whole beginning. Because if you really, really think about it, how much of current Ahsoka we've seen since her fight with Vader, it hasn't really been that much. So I feel like she's still feeling the emotional effects of that. But we might see the other side of that at the conclusion of these next 2 episodes.
Yeah, that's valid. I think that's a good point.
Yeah. So let's hop right into episode 4, or part 4, I should say. And that is titled Fallen Jedi, which is the cleverest fucking title. Because they do these things where they don't tell you the title of the show until like you're actually watching it. Because if you go on Tuesday nights and you pull up Ahsoka and you look at the menu of all the episodes, it's like part 1, whatever this title, part 4, Fallen Jedi. And then whenever you're looking at the most recent one, they don't put the title in it at first. You got to wait until you're watching the show and then the title comes up and then you got to figure out, oh, what does the title mean?
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. And then, it's Fallen Jedi. So that could refer to so many fucking people in just this one episode 4 with everything that fucking happens in this, but we'll get to that. So it starts off, it picks up where we left off, where they emergency landed in the middle of that red forest, as they were like running from fucking Balin's crew, Balin and Witch Lady's crew. And they're repairing the ship while they're fucking hiding in the jungle. And Ahsoka is having this serious conversation with Sabine about like, hey, if the shit hits the fan and we have to make a choice between either destroying the fucking map or letting them, take it but never seeing Ezra again or whatever, we've got to fucking make the right choice and we got to destroy the fucking map and, unfortunately leave Ezra stranded.
Right.
Which Sabine immediately was like not down with that plan whatsoever. Like,
right.
She is full blown dedicated to finding Ezra and getting him back no matter what. So when Ahsoka said like, hey, if we can't get the fucking map from them, we have to destroy it. Sabine, you could tell, like, even though she kind of agreed,
yeah,
she
was not on board with it.
No.
Like from the jump, she wasn't on board with it.
Which is a great setup for later on in the episode. We have a flash of Balin back at the little map. I don't know what you would call it. The Stonehenge with the fucking stellar cartography bubble around it.
Right. The witch henge.
Yeah, witch henge. And I just got to say, I fucking love Balin and Shin so much in this series. And it's a shame because we didn't see them at all in episode 5. And I feel like, it's especially sad because we know no matter what, we're not going to get any more of Balin after the last episode of the season because the actor's fucking dead.
Yeah.
But goddamn, he is putting in such a great fucking performance. And this episode just really highlights how good of an actor this guy is.
Well, it does. It makes that ultimate. It's that ultimate sadness that. Anyway.
Yeah, very much in line with the Heath Ledger Joker thing, because he died right before that movie came out, and then his version of the Joker ended up being like the most iconic, most loved version,
right,
post-mortem.
Yeah.
So,
but for all the right reasons, because it was fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we had a really great scene with Balin and Witch Lady. What the fuck is her name again? Morgan Elspeth. Yeah. Where, he's like, we better fucking get our shit together and get out of here soon. And she's like, oh, is that fear I hear in your voice? He's like, just experience.
Experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So he knows what's fucking coming. And we get a great fucking scene as Hu Yang is outside and he's repairing the ship. And then those fucking HK droids come up and start attacking him, where he has some pretty good hand-to-hand combat skills himself. Hu Yang, he had a really good kind of fist fight with
brings out his fucking Grievous arms and fucking starts going after him.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty enjoyable fight. And then he's like, help, and the guy covers his fucking mouth. Right. Which is pretty funny.
Like that's the only speaker a droid has, honestly. You wouldn't figure out how to vibrate something else. Like don't have a butthole speaker. You can get like can't make that vibrate somehow.
Which sidebar? Like, did droids fart? Like, Wouldn't that be great if at least one droid manufacturer put a speaker in their ass so they could just randomly fart sometimes? Just
like you'd have to have like charging ports and like, or if there's bushings or something like that where there's like a rubber housing over it, that, like that housing just kind of gets some air trapped in it and just. That could be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, if I was a droid manufacturer, I'd do it just for fun anyway.
All right, droid fart. Like that'd be the code word, like, droid fart or something. Like you'd say the code word and every droid you encountered would fart. Like, and they would go, I don't know what happened. I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah. So anyway, Ahsoka and Sabine come out, and we get a really good demonstration of how well they fight together. They're really kind of playing off of each other as Sabine is sort of ducking behind Ahsoka's lightsabers, shooting around her. And then when Sabine's getting in trouble, Ahsoka like throws another one of the droids in the way of her getting shot. And then she like uses her fucking grappling hook, pulls the guy as Ahsoka fucking slices him. So a very just in your face scene where it's like, this is how good they are when they fight together.
Together.
Yes.
Right. If only they had stayed together.
Right, which Hu Yang even says as they're about to run to fucking go get the map. He's like, stay together.
Stay together.
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert, by the way. We mentioned this early in the show, but we're doing spoilers.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this for whatever reason, I don't know what's wrong with you. Why would you be watching us when you could be watching the new episodes of Ahsoka?
Right.
I don't know.
We love that you're watching us and that you're here
Oh,
for the
100%.
Playful banter, but
yeah,
we're spoiling the shit out of this. So.
Yeah. So it was at this note, or at this point too, where I had in my notes as Ahsoka and Sabine are running through the Red Forest, which again looks fucking awesome. Like the look of this planet is really sweet.
Dude, the look of everything that they've done so far is, God.
Yeah, the ships and everything.
So fucking good.
And in this episode especially, because there's 3 shots, I think. Yeah, 3 different shots we see the hyperspace ring like floating above them as they're on the surface. Like that scene when Balin and Elspeth were talking and they're looking up and there's the fucking ring in the sky above them. Then as Ahsoka and Sabine are running towards where they've got the map, you can see it in the distance. And then that last scene where it comes through the clouds as they're like leaving the planet.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably, so I think there's some liberties there with how big, like, that ring's probably huge, but I don't think it's that big.
Yeah.
Like, it'd have to be pretty fucking substantial to be seen from where they are that far below the atmosphere. But, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, well, I think in those scenes it was in like a low orbit.
Sure.
Like a super low orbit.
Right.
Not actually outside the atmosphere.
So, the International Space Station's in a fairly low orbit.
Mm-hmm. And it's just a dot in the sky.
It's a dot in the sky. It's a shiny dot in the sky. Like, and that ring is mostly fucking empty space. So it's fine. Did you get the sidebar? Did you get the I sent you the audiobook for or I sent you the link to it, Interstellar, The Science of Interstellar?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dude. So I've been reading through that. I'm almost done it. No, I finished it. I did finish it.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually really, it's fascinating. It's very, like, it goes into the kind of deep, some of the science stuff on it, which is exactly what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But things like that, like the things they had to do to, like, okay, here's the black hole, and this is how it's portrayed in the movie, and this is like the percentage of what it really would look like, so that you could kind of see it in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so this is where what's his nuts took liberty to make it small enough where you would be able to see it for the movie goer to see it, not like in its actual size or what it would be.
Right.
And it talks through all of that. Kip Thorne talks through like all of that. And all of like how they got to where they were with the science and the language. And it's just made me think of that, right? So like you look up and be like, oh wow, there it is. Yes. However, comma. yes, it's there. You wouldn't, if you were sitting here looking up in the sky like, oh, there.
Shit.
What did I tell you about getting a better alarm?
Did you tell me about getting a better alarm?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. While Jason's doing that, I would highly recommend. And it was a free. If you're an Audible member, it was a free book. Look for The Science of Interstellar, and was a free read on Audible. And it was really, really good. It was. I highly recommend it. And then watch the movie again after that.
Yes.
Because then you get like this whole different perspective of what the physicists and the biologists and the people at Caltech and all these nerds and all these physicists and scientists and everyone else that all came together and figured all this stuff out. And where Christopher Nolan was like, no, I have this idea where I want to take it. They flushed out all that science.
Nice.
So very, very cool. Anyway.
All right. Getting back to Ahsoka. So I mentioned the great score as they're running through the forest, and you can hear the score in the background throughout this whole episode. I really kind of tuned into the score a little more, and it's just so well done. I mean, obviously he's never going to be John Williams, but it's really fucking good. It's like we talked about before. It's the same guy who scored the Clone Wars. So props to that guy for keeping the Star Wars feel to the whole thing. Then we get a good example of one reason why the New Republic failed as an entity. When Hera just blatantly doesn't follow orders, she's walking out of this fucking hangar and the guy's chasing her. Oh, no, we got the staff meeting coming up. And she's like, I'm not going. Fuck off. You'll figure it out.
Yeah. We have a staff meeting.
Yeah.
Like, your slides, did you get your slides done? Like, I don't think your slides were updated.
Right.
Like, can I get your initials for this? Like, dude, fuck you.
Mm-hmm. So she just does what she wants. She takes her ship and a squadron of fucking X-Wings along with that Carson guy, the guy
Right.
who we've seen in Mandalorian, that X-Wing pilot who just keeps randomly just fucking popping in.
Yeah.
He's like Forrest Gump. He's always like where like all the big events in history are.
It's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair analogy.
Yeah. So there's another shot where Balin's talking to Morgan, and he's like, now you're fucking sure that this shit's like gonna send us to the right spot? Because if your calculations are off by even like a milli-click, then we're gonna be lost in the fucking void of space forever. And which, I mean, it's a fair concern, you know.
Yeah.
If I'm about to make intergalactic travel, I want to make damn sure that we know where the fuck we're going.
This how accurate is your fucking GPS right now?
Right,
Are
yeah.
we using the Russian version or are we using the fucking legit version? Like,
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, did you make your calculations in the metric system or in the old English system?
And it's so funny you say like the clicks. Like when they say clicks, it's so jarring because you feel like why are you doing that? Why are you using like what is obviously metric system vernacular
Yeah.
for
Probably a kilometer, I would imagine.
right. And which that's the language of science, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So I don't have a problem with scientists using that to describe like, you know, space or whatever, but they also they use astronomical units when you're talking about such distances. They don't say clicks.
Yeah.
Like it just like in my mind, it's just like a couple army guys going over a fucking topographical map and like, oh, it's this many clicks over here. It's like, oh god, it's just stop it. Just stop.
Well,
using that.
they had to throw in their own Star Wars lingo, you know. But it's fine. Like they've been using clicks in Star Wars and like the expanded stuff forever.
Yeah, and every time they use it, I say the same thing. It's just like, ugh, god.
You know, Morgan mentions to Balin, like, you need to have faith when he brings up those concerns. And he says, faith? I lost that a long time ago.
Right.
So just a little bit more of a tease of where this guy's fucking coming from, but just not enough yet.
God, it's such a deep fucking character that we're going to be deprived of.
Mm-hmm.
It's so awful.
Yeah. Yep.
Such a tragedy.
Yep. So fucking Ahsoka and Sabine are running through the woods, and boom. Blocking their path is fucking Shin and Marok, the Inquisitor. And we get a nice little confrontation. First of all, I fucking love Shin so much. Like, she's so awesome. Like, her eyes, her piercing eyes. We talked about this
Yeah.
in previous episodes. Like, she's got that non-blinking stare.
Right.
where she's like constantly got her eyes fucking open and just locked.
It's funny though. There's some good memes out there with her, like when she was the love child of like two different things. Do some meme searching.
I haven't seen anything like that yet.
Oh yeah.
I've seen a bunch of memes of Sabine when she's like sitting there on the bridge of the ship with her eyes kind of like rolling her eyes and their eyes like bug-eyed, like wide, like thinking about something. But I haven't seen anything on Shin. But yeah, anyway, she fucking stares them both down. She's like going somewhere. And then we get this pretty fucking sweet battle between Shin and Sabine and Ahsoka and the Inquisitor, Marok, which... the one with Shin and Sabine, I thought was fucking awesome. Like this whole sequence with those two, when it first starts off with Sabine with just the blasters,
right?
Because she just, I guess she's going back to her Mandalorian roots, where she's in her full Mando gear and she's using her double blasters as opposed to a lightsaber.
Doing what she does best.
Yeah, exactly. Until she's sort of forced to fight with the lightsaber when fucking Shin blasts her into a tree.
Yeah.
Fucking helmet flies off. She drops her blasters, and that's when she picks up, Ezra's lightsaber, and they have a pretty fucking sweet lightsaber duel. You know, not as one-sided as it was the last time they met. And then, of course, you've got Ahsoka versus Marok. So this was the moment where all those Marok theories went out the fucking window, because they fought for a while, which was some pretty decent back and forth. And then he decided to go for the spinaroonie, right? He got the fucking...
ridiculous. The ridiculous fucking...
Dave's favorite lightsabers in all of Star Wars, where, he goes full helicopter mode, and, he gets back.
Because it's worked for every one of them every single time they've ever done it.
Yeah, he lunges at her, but it was a sweet move on Ahsoka's part. And first of all, as soon as this battle started, she was dedicated to the single saber for both this fight and the fight she has later with Balin. She's got the two lightsabers, but she chose to go the single style for both of these, which is pretty awesome, because that long single blade, the way it's curved, it's meant to look like a samurai sword.
Right.
Which you get like those samurai stances. I'll try spinning. That's a good trick. Whoa.
Nice one, G-Force.
But anyway, so Marok's like fucking spinning it, and she times it perfectly in between his fucking lightsabers and just fucking cuts right through his midsection.
Right.
And you're sitting there like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen now? Is she gonna take off his helmet and we'll see who he is? No,
he's
fucking blah, green fucking ooze, or no, green smoke just
fades away.
Yeah, so clearly it was Night Sister magic.
Right.
And we saw this actually with Maul's brother. Remember his brother Savage? When Palpatine killed him, I think the same thing happened to him, because he was infused with all that Night Sister magic, where like some green smoke fucking came out of him.
Yeah, but there was an actual body afterwards, though. Like with his brother.
Well, there might have still been a body in that.
No, it turned to dust, man. That shit fucking floated away.
Yeah, so but
there wasn't anything left.
No, so all those theories about Marok is Ezra, or maybe he's Starkiller, or whatever. Nope,
just some Night Sister magic.
Yep. So probably some
fucking Filoni, man. Just like, I'm gonna get him going with this one.
Yep.
Look at these fuckers talk about some shit.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not mad about it. I know a lot of people were disappointed by this reveal. Or lack of one, but I'm like, no, that makes sense. How can you be
disappointed for something that we had no earthly idea what it was going to be anyway?
Right. Well, it's because again,
it's not like they hinted at anything.
But the Star Wars fans, man, we get shit built up in our heads, and you make something out of nothing.
Right.
Think of how much speculation we went into just after The Force Awakens, or even leading up to The Force Awakens.
Yeah, but we had reason to, though.
You think they don't have reasons now?
The Marok thing was just too much. People were just going in directions that were just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, it's Star Wars fans. It's what we do.
It is what we do.
But I know a lot of people were disappointed with the reveal. I wasn't. Like I'm fine with it, only because he had such an insignificant part, and that was probably the kicker too, as to the fact that he was going to end up being nothing, was because he was such a small thing. But people had it built up in their heads, very much like the Knights of Ren or Phasma,
right.
or Disney's got this track record of building up these kind of cool looking characters that end up being nothing.
Oh, so they could sell.
The sacred Jedi pops.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or the Black Series, because I've already got
Sacred Jedi.
I've got the Marok Black Series figure already pre-ordered. So,
I'm sure it'll be a good looking figure.
which, by the way, sidebar, they do not have a Balin or Shin Black Series figure for pre-order yet. They've got everybody else.
Really?
Yeah, they've even got those fucking HK droids, but no Balin or Shin yet, which I'm very upset about. So I'm gonna call Hasbro tomorrow and be like, you guys need to fix this. You got to make this right. They're the best characters in this fucking show.
Do you remember, or were you still in the shelter when the captain of the Air Force, she had that phone that had no battery in it?
Oh yeah.
And then she was like, oh, she's calling Congress.
Oh yeah, I remember that
Said
very well.
She called Congress.
Yes.
And she's like, calling Congress. We're going to get water here because we didn't have water.
Yeah.
Like, she's calling Congress to get us water. And she's holding a cell phone to her ear that had no battery in it. And she was talking to Congress. This woman was...
She was not all there. I'll just say that.
That is a polite way of saying she was a fucking lunatic.
Yes.
Who had a service dog that was the most unwilling service dog you ever saw in your fucking life. Oh God, it'll be in the book. It'll be in the book when it comes out.
Yeah, for sure. So, we've got these two fights going on. Ahsoka kills Marok, right? And then Shin actually looked concerned. Like she looked, I don't know if it was like, fuck, I'm in this by myself, or if she actually had a friendship with Marok. I don't know.
No, I think it was like, oh fuck, now Ahsoka is going to pair back up with Sabine,
and they're gonna kick my ass.
They're gonna kick the shit out of me. So I gotta go.
Yeah, but instead, Sabine tells Ahsoka, "No, go get the map. I got this."
Right.
Yeah, doing exactly what Hu Yang told them not to do.
Like you're stronger together. However, Ahsoka just buggers off. And goes
and then of course after Ahsoka runs off, fucking Shin does the slow look over with again those fucking just piercing eyes and is like, "You will regret this decision." And then they start fighting again.
Yep.
Which, oh my God, I loved this whole fucking episode so much. I cannot even express it. But moving on, now Ahsoka, while those two are still fighting, Ahsoka runs up, catches up to Balin, and they have a really interesting back and forth again. You get that line that we got in the trailers where he's like, "Anakin spoke highly of you." And Ahsoka comes back, "It's funny, he didn't mention you." So, again, we don't really know a whole lot about where Balin is coming from, but he alludes to, serving a greater good, a greater purpose, and Ahsoka kind of acts like she knows what he's talking about, but they never vocalize it for us. But, to me, in my opinion, after listening to all of these things that he says he's going to do, it feels like his plan is to create a new order, a new Force user order. Probably along the lines of the Gray Jedi type. That's just my own theory. But it sounds like that's his plan.
Whatever his plan is structured around, he basically needs the Imperials to get to the end game.
Yes.
Right. So he's got to fucking help this fucking witch lady out. And then, get thrown back or whatever. He doesn't have a nickel in it. As long as that gets done. And then he can continue on with what his greater plan is.
Right.
To serve his purpose.
Right. Which he never, again, doesn't actually say up to this point. But
so I truly believe that this is not, Balin is, his association is not with the Emperor.
No, definitely not.
His part of this is not with the Emperor.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think they're,
or if it was at any point, if the Emperor said, "Hey, here's a fallen Jedi that I'm going to give part of a plan to okay, this is your part of the plan, or this is what I need you to do, and not give you part of the larger plan," which is what fucking Palpatine was excellent at.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, he was, "Oh, okay, I see what you're doing. I'm going to fucking utilize this to make my own end game."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I mean, to me, the reason why I think he's trying to create a new, like, neutral order is because he's still carrying a lot of uh pieces of the Jedi Order. Like, if you look at Shin, she's got a fucking Padawan braid in her hair.
right.
He's empathetic. Like, he didn't want to fight Ahsoka. He tried to talk to her in this. He mentioned, in what was it, episode 1, how killing her would be unfortunate because, there's so few Force users left. So
Yeah.
clearly there is not a super nefarious side to him, but he does have sort of a means to an end
Right.
mindset.
Yeah, this is what he believes the Jedi should have been doing to begin with, and so while what the Jedi Order and using the Force was, it's like, okay, I'm gonna make Jedi Knights, not be fucking keepers of the peace type fucking shit.
Right.
Yeah, the conversation and the obviousness of him not wanting to kill any of the Force users, like we mentioned it before, with like it'd be a shame,
Yeah.
it'd be a shame to kill her.
Yeah.
That's super important to the fucking story.
Right. And I think that plays into whatever his grand plan is. It's all, parts of what we've seen up to this point. So, but, Ahsoka, she's like, nah, I'm not having your shit. She ignites her lightsaber first. And then that's when he's like, oh, how inevitable. And, again, reluctantly draws his blade to fight Ahsoka. Now, this part was fucking cool because if you watch it, the way Ahsoka stands, she stands in that samurai stance, right? With the single blade again, that's kind of got the curve, just like a samurai sword. She's standing like they do in those old samurai movies, whereas Balin is completely different. He's like the old knight holding a broadsword.
Right.
Like his stance, and they're kind of circling each other in those different stances. And when they fight, it's a very different fighting style between the two of them. She's like very quick movements, different stances, using the reverse grip on the fucking lightsaber, while he's just holding the fucking lightsaber like a broadsword, and he's just doing big, powerful swings. Just a really unique, and I think this is the first time that they've really done like two very different fighting styles with in a lightsaber duel like this.
Yeah, I mean, aside from like specific lightsaber types, like you had with with the Maul, right? Maul obviously had a different fighting style because he was using
because of the double-bladed saber.
Saber. I also think I had you watch that Master and Apprentice short that is on Disney Plus, which I recommend. I thought it was good. It was 7 minutes. Not worth getting into too much detail here, but for me, I joked I thought it was more like a Dave Filoni origin story.
Sure, yeah.
But Rosario Dawson talks about how she was training with these lightsabers, like, and these particular styles, like, okay, using these different styles and getting her left hand.
Oh yeah, to like work with her right hand more.
Right. So like the amount of detail work that went into this to be able to make these sequences so fucking important, because like they said in that sequence, and have said so many times before, Star Wars fans know the difference.
Yeah.
Like we know when you know what the fuck you're doing, or you're just out there fucking hacking away at it.
Oh yeah. Because for better or worse, people are going to pick these shows apart.
Yeah.
Like we do as Star Wars fans. We flash back to Sabine and Shin fighting, to the point where Shin kind of gets her down. Though Sabine in this episode too, she really uses her armor in a lot more ways than she has before, like using it to block lightsabers and blasters because she's got the Beskar armor, just like the other Mandos. But she gets knocked down. She gets disarmed, knocked down. And this is the scene where she fucking puts her hand up like you think she's going to force push her. And Shin even flinches when she does it.
Right.
And it was like, and that's when she looks at her and says that line that we saw in the trailer, like, you have no power.
Right.
But then it was fucking great because, fucking Sabine's holding her hand up like that, right? She still got her hand up after she says, you have no power. And then she just goes, zzz, and shoots the fucking the wrist rockets off, and that was great. And then it like caught caught Shin off guard. So that was a really
that was
fun
fucking
scene.
great.
And then Shin like pulls some like ninja vanish. Does the fucking smoke bomb.
Smoke screen.
And it's just like, okay, all right, I guess that's a thing.
Like if you were wearing your helmet, fucking Twitzilla, you fucking would have been able to see where she went.
Yeah, that's true. Well, to be fair, her helmet got knocked off of her. It's not like she took it off, you know.
Put it back on.
Yeah, I guess. So we flash back to Ahsoka fighting Balin. She bests him for a second, long enough to go grab the fucking map, but like I guess like the Night Sister magic like burned the shit out of her hand. Like
Right.
it seemed like it was like really fucking painful, where it burned the fucking piss out of her.
Rosario did a good job of like.
Yeah, like yeah, pretty much, where she had to like fucking drop it, and from that point
Potato hot.
yeah, she could only fight with one hand. You know, she could only hold her fucking lightsaber with one hand, and
Right.
it was very apparent that Balin was going to get the best of her at that point, because she was, you know, kind of little disabled at that point, and he fucking walks up to her. That was unwise, and boom, starts fucking, you know, just slashing at her again, backs her up to the fucking wall of the or the cliff there, and that's when Shin pops in first. And Ahsoka sees her and thinks that, oh, you know,
Sabine's dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in like a fucking, you know, fit of anger, she force grabs her and fucking flings her so hard against one of those fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Whereas like if she was just a normal human being with no force abilities or no armor, her fucking skull would have exploded on
Yeah.
impact.
Oh yeah.
Like she fucking just, rah! I'm like, God damn.
Yes. Yes. Use your anger. Come on. You're not a fucking Jedi. Use your fucking anger.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, which was fucking
Win.
yeah.
Win at all costs.
Yeah.
It's the fucking person, the customer service person on the other end of the fucking line at USA. Like, I have you now.
Yeah. But god damn, man, she grabbed her and threw her with such fucking anger and power. It's like any other person, they'd have been splattered
Oh yeah.
across
Oh, yeah,
that
for sure.
fucking rock. Yeah, it was pretty vicious. Then Sabine shows up and she's got the fucking she's got the map and the gun pointed to it. And then we get our fucking, you know, like our Isildur moment at the fucking, you know, pits of Mount Doom, where he's got the fucking one ring and he's like, destroy it. And he's like, no.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, she doesn't destroy it. Balin knocks fucking Ahsoka off the cliff, so it's like wee. So she's gone. And then he again like pulls things back, just like let's calm things down here and
Right.
let's talk. You know, puts away his fucking saber, and he does this thing. The subtleties that they're doing with his character are so good, because he just stops, closes his eyes for a second, then reopens them. He's like, oh yes, so you're afraid that you're never going to get to see your friend Ezra again because you think he's the only family you have left. And
Yeah. Let me read your mind real quick.
yeah,
Like,
so
and see into the future a bit.
yeah, so they're really like subtly showing us just how powerful he is with these, like either force visions or like reading people's thoughts or both. And he talks Sabine into handing over the map, which this fucking scene where he's sitting there talking to her, he's like, I give you my word, you know, well, you'll see your friend again. And he sticks out his hand and
No harm will come to you.
yeah. And like, you can see Sabine is so fucking conflicted, and you know, she's sitting there and she's not sure what to do. And he's got his hand out, and then he's like, do it, you know?
Do it.
Yeah.
It's
You know, of course
almost-
I'm hearing Palpatine when he says that, but he says it in such a soft tone. Do it for Ezra.
Right.
You know, and she reluctantly hands over the fucking map, which was that scene. I can't get over how well this whole, like, I don't know, 20-30 minute period of this episode between the lightsaber fights and then when we get here to where she hands over the fucking map. Ugh. So good.
Yeah, and when it was tough last week or week before last, I guess.
Yeah.
When we had this episode and we're like, we're not doing it for the next show.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot going on with it, and this level of intensity for this.
Yeah, and we could have done a whole show on that episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, after she handed over the map and he's like, all right, cool, we'll go together. You see her all of a sudden just like, she fucking falls over and you see Shin behind her doing the fucking force choke. And he's
Right.
like, Shin. And she reluctantly lets her go.
Gave her my word.
Yep.
Stop it.
Yeah. So just, again, so good. Another thing that Balin mentioned during that back and forth with Sabine was how her family all died on Mandalore, which I know we knew from Rebels. Yeah, I think it was Rebels where her family worked with Bo-Katan as part of like the, teaming up and helping Mandalore and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So we knew during Rebels her family was still alive. So at some point, probably during the Night of a Thousand Tears, like her family got killed. And Balin mentioned it was because her master didn't trust her, which we have no context for what the fuck he's talking about at this point.
Right.
Like, is he talking about Ahsoka? Is he talking about Bo-Katan?
Yeah, he's using something out of her past to manipulate her.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. And, was this something that happened between Ahsoka and Sabine that caused them to split in the first place?
Right.
Something to do with her family dying on Mandalore. Who the hell knows? But again, we have no fucking context for any of this. Finally, the Hera and her crew show up just in time for the hyperspace ring to take off. They get caught in some pretty serious wake turbulence after they go to fucking hyperspace, which by the way, the visuals and the sound they did for that ship going to fucking hyperspace was awesome. It like when it like shot through, it was almost like icy electric trails left behind. And
you see that the generators when they were going off, it kind of reminded me of something out of Battlefront, right? It was like,
oh yeah,
like you saw the
they're building up and
yeah, it was fucking cool.
Yeah, love that whole fucking scene. But that was pretty much it. Yeah, that was the episode. Oh, and then just one little thing. We flash to Ahsoka waking up. We see the water by the cliff that she fell off of, and then the water kind of turns into a blue-white glowy type thing. There's Ahsoka laying there.
Yeah.
Very quickly, the camera pans up, and you can immediately see that she's in the world between worlds. It's very, very obvious at that point.
Right.
And you hear fucking Anakin's voice, like, "Hey, Snips."
Right.
And I wasn't expecting to see you so soon. She turns around, boom, there's Anakin right there. Now, what was fucking weird was because we're going to see Anakin a lot in the next episode. In this episode, in this last scene, it looked very fake. Like, it looked very, like, heavily CG'd, that close-up shot they did of him. Whereas most of the Anakin we see in the next episode, I thought looked a hell of a lot better. So I don't know why they picked the one shitty shot to introduce him in this one.
Oh, it makes everyone wonder, right?
Yeah.
It may have just been for that setup. Like, oh, people are going to talk about it. They're going to they're going to overanalyze this, just like they
for
did
the
with
next
the
week.
fucking Murrock character. So
yeah, pretty much.
just let him sweat it out.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, and then of course going back to the title, Fallen Jedi could refer to Anakin, could refer to Ahsoka because she literally fell off of the fucking cliff.
Right.
Could refer to Sabine, handing over the fucking map.
Yep.
Could I don't think it refers to Marok at this point.
Well, have fallen or exploded or
Yeah.
into the wind.
Disintegrated Jedi.
What's the fucking out of the Wolf of Wall Street? The fucking Matthew McConaughey, like the
Oh, yeah.
the Faja. The what's
I
it
don't
called?
remember. I've only seen that movie once.
God damn it! Oh, what a good movie.
Yeah. Anyway, so, and before we get into episode 5, I'm going to say for the record, if it wasn't obvious already, this episode 4 is my favorite. Not only is it my favorite episode in all of Ahsoka that we've seen so far, it's probably my favorite episode of any Star Wars streaming show to date. Like, I fucking love this episode so much. It was everything that I want in Star Wars was in this thing.
Okay.
All kinds of lightsaber fights, cool scenes, cool music, good emotional storytelling. Just it was, to me, this was a fucking flawless episode.
Okay. I won't go that far.
Okay.
I won't go that far. I thought this was good. I thought, especially after the third episode, where I felt like there was just kind of like a building episode.
Yeah, a whole lot of nothing happened.
Yeah, there's in contrast, using some contrast theory, like, oh wow, look at how this one just brought the intensity. It still has a little ways to go to catch Andor as far for me as the storytelling.
Sure, yeah.
But I can see where the generation below us, like the heavy Clone Wars and Rebels generation, would think that this is the best thing they've ever seen.
Well,
or at least they should be thinking that.
Well, I think episode 5 is where most of them are.
Well, I'm just talking about like as the series is going, like this is.
Yeah,
I can totally see that.
Yeah. Now, and I'm saying this also. I've seen episodes 4 and 5 multiple times, one after the other, going back and forth, rewatching them, and I still like episode 4 the most. Even though a lot of shit happens in 5, and I know a lot of people fucking really love 5. I still think 4 is my favorite episode so far.
And for me, just while we're talking about it, episode 5 for me is the better one. And when we hit those parts of why, I'll explain why.
All right, so let's just hop right into it then, because rolling into episode 5, Shadow Warrior, we get just a lot of shots of the planet, right? Because now the planet is fairly empty, so you get the shot of the empty forest, the shot of the fucking the Stonehenge, and all of that. And finally Hera lands, and she's just like looking around like, what the fuck, where is everybody, what's going on? And she finds Hu Yang.
We missed the party.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then she finds Hu Yang kind of moping over on the cliff, holding Sabine's helmet, and he's saying like, and he's like really down too. He's like, I told them to stick together, they wouldn't listen, but he was he was very like kind of down, just didn't seem like himself. He was actually very emotional by what had happened.
Right.
Oh, we didn't mention, by the way, too, that Hera decided to bring her son along for the ride because, that's what you do when you feel like you're about to go fight a bit of the Imperial remnant. Bring your son. It'll be fun. Be a family day out.
Yeah, but who you leave him with? Honestly, she seems like she's super, super protective, right? Mm-hmm. Almost overly protective. Like you get that sense when he's standing in the ghost with Chopper.
Yeah.
And he's standing at the door like, hey, can I come out now? And she's like, yeah, okay, you can come out.
Yeah.
Like you get the sense that she's kind of overprotective.
Sure.
Which is, hey, I want to keep him close because that's how I know he's safe, because he's with me.
Right.
And I'm not trusting I'm not trusting him with anybody else.
Yeah, and she's,
and
had
plus,
her share of losses with...
Right, and plus she's a general, right? So she's probably in the rear. She's a rear echelon motherfucker anyway, right? So she's she's in the rear with the gear 9 times out of 10. So this being out and doing shit is out of the norm.
Yeah. So we go back to the world between worlds, and we see Anakin and Ahsoka. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he tells her he's here to finish her training. Now, this is something that is never, at least in my opinion, is never truly explained. What is this Anakin, right? Is this really his Force ghost? Is this some way that the world between worlds pulled him out of, one of his existing worlds to confront Ahsoka? Or is it just like, is this all in her fucking head? It's never truly fleshed out, but I guess it's kind of meant to be a little ambiguous too.
Well, let's get through the entirety of that sequence before she gets picked up out of the water, and then I'll give my theories on that.
Okay. Well, because it starts off where he's basically telling her, the rest of her training is she needs to choose to either live or die.
Right.
So, and he's insinuating through this, and then when we get to some of the later scenes, like, in order to live, you have to fight, and you have to keep fighting. So she immediately says, when he's like, live or die, and he pulls out his lightsaber, and she's like, I'm not going to fight you. He had the great line, yeah, I've heard that before, and he swings at her and, basically coaxes her into engaging with him, and it's fucking sweet scene. Hayden Christensen back as Anakin, fighting in his style, because when you watch him do lightsaber fights, he's got a very unique way about it. Like you can like his motions are his motions. Like that is Hayden Christensen, you know, flinging a lightsaber, and you see that, with him and Rosario fighting as Anakin and Ahsoka, and it looked fucking sweet. Just seeing them engaging in this combat with their own unique styles, but you know, very familiar styles.
Yeah, and fast too.
Yeah.
Like it was fluid. It wasn't like, you know, it wasn't something that was CGI'd or anything like that.
No,
It's like,
no.
okay, this is exactly what I want.
And this is
Right.
it's in intensity, it's very similar to his fight with Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith. You know, very, very fast, very intense.
Faster, more intense.
Yes, exactly, as George would say. And then as they're fighting, we get a flashback to Jason Syndulla, who's we all know is force sensitive. They've made that no secret, and he hears like the lightsaber clashes in the ocean waves. Now, what's weird about this scene is, you know, he has his mom come over, and she's like, "Well, what are you hearing?" And he's like, "Lightsabers in the waves." And they kind of make it seem like she ends up hearing it also, but I don't know if she's just like fucking.
I think that she's gauging, like, I think she's gauging the moment with her son. Like, I know it's easy to kind of look at that and go, okay, let's question whether or not Hera could hear it too.
Yeah.
I think the audience is hearing it because this is what we're meant to hear, what Jason hears. But I think Hera is just hearing it. Well, she's not hearing it. She just knows that her son is hearing it.
Or kind of feeling it through him.
Yeah, she recognizes the truth of the moment.
Right.
Because it's her son.
Yeah, and she knows what he's capable of.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, I totally get it. Like, this is not you bullshitting.
Yeah.
Here. So
it's not you're some kid playing a fucking prank. No.
Right. Exactly. You're not playing grab ass with Chopper here.
Right. And then we get this fucking great scene where she like tells what's his name, Carson, to like comb the desert, right? Comb the
Did you
the
hear
ocean.
me? Comb the desert.
And she jumps in her ship. Hu Yang and Carson are standing there, and Carson's like, "Well, what the fuck was that?" And Hu Yang explains to him like, "Oh, he's the son of Kanan Jarrus, who is a former Jedi," and all this. And then Carson's just like, "Okay," and then goes
Like, but whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is, you know what? Probably the most appropriate response for somebody in that moment. Not like, "Oh, wow, yeah, I know who that guy is." Just like, all right, that's just going with my last valid order here and getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, pretty
Some
much.
crack on him, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, exactly. So then we flash back to Anakin and Ahsoka. They're fighting. Ahsoka seems to kind of get the best of him, and she's like, "It seems like you don't have much to teach me." And he's like, "Oh, there's still a few things that you haven't learned yet." And then he fucking just slices the bridge that they're on in the world between worlds, and it just all crashes down.
Right.
And then we get just Ahsoka free falling.
So I don't know. I've seen the Lego Movie a bunch of times, probably an unhealthy amount of times.
Oh, well, it's a great movie
for an adult.
Uh-huh.
And it reminded me of the sequence when Emmett is falling, like when
he's like falling forever.
like I see Rosario Dawson just falling.
Yeah.
Just like, I shouldn't be. This is a serious moment. I shouldn't be thinking like this.
Yeah.
It's the fucking ADHD just going like, hey, remember that scene in the Lego Movie? God damn it. All right.
I have to ask. Ivo was referred to me as the guy on the right twice now in the chat. Why am I the guy on the right? What is that?
I don't know. Are you the guy on the right? I guess
Apparently. Yeah. And good night, Ivo.
Yeah. Good night, Ivo.
But no, at least a couple of times he's referred to me as the guy on the right.
Maybe I don't know.
Anyway. So she falls. She eventually fucking lands in like some smoke-covered area that we're not sure of. She stands up, and it's very clear that this is a younger Ahsoka at this point.
Yes.
And the actress that they got to play her is, again, fucking Disney does this with like everything. Anybody who's in a Marvel movie eventually ends up in a Star Wars product, and vice versa.
Oh, she played young Green Bra.
Yeah, Gamora. Yeah, it's that same girl.
I just recognized that.
Yeah, from Endgame. So Yeah, so again, Disney, they love recycling fucking actors. But to this kid's credit, she did a fucking fantastic job.
There was a couple of times too when I realized, like, if so, just from a cinematography perspective, the way these scenes were shot, there was just so much perfection in it because it lacked detail exactly where it needed to lack detail.
Right.
Right. It gave you so much, like there was so much going on in the background. Like you could see like the walkers being dropped off with during the Clone War sequence, but it doesn't show you the greater scene. Like all these things are happening, and it seems like there's kind of all this dead space, almost like you're doing it in a soundstage. Kind of has that feeling, but it's on purpose because this is like obviously not the actual scene.
Right, it's like isolated in her head, or
but you still have all the fucking the clones going by and everything else. And this is where these sequences are where me and everyone the fuck else is where this stepped it up a notch.
Oh yeah, 100%. Right? And I'm not dogging this episode at all.
This is where like they pick somebody, they dressed Hayden Christensen is like, okay.
Yeah, they put him in the Anakin Clone Wars outfit.
This is like you had the Clone Wars, you had clones in the fucking appropriate armor. You had all the shit happening
with Tamora Morrison's voice,
with the appropriate voice, and you had Anakin, and all the mannerisms were right there. It was, and when they profiled her, like the figure of Ahsoka, like with like just the skinny young Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That was the Ahsoka from the cartoon. Like you look at that sequence and go like, oh my God, that might as well be a fucking Ahsoka from the cartoon.
Yeah.
And they did such a great job with that. But then, so when they went into the next shot when she's sitting there with the clone on the stretcher, like it immediately, like the little bit of ambivalence that you might have had, like, okay, where this is young Ahsoka, what we're trying to figure out. Like, and then they show you this kind of the profile shot and you're like, you have that recognition, and then the next shots, there's no ambivalence whatsoever. It's like, okay, this is the right shot. This is the right person.
And did you happen to notice? Did it seem to you like Hayden, the way he was modulating his voice, it sounded very similar to the voice actor from Clone Wars?
Was changing his voice.
Yeah, and it sounded so much like the voice actor from the show.
He definitely was changing his voice. So I was having a tough time. I haven't seen the Clone Wars recently enough to be able to place like where the voice was. Because Hayden Christensen's voice in Obi-Wan was a little bit different. Like you could tell he's so much older, right?
Well, yeah.
So he's got like a more raspiness to his voice. So he was trying to control. He was trying to control his voice the best that he could.
Yeah.
Within the confines of what he could actually do vocally.
I don't know. I feel like he was really trying to make it like the voice actor, and I think he did a fantastic job. I thought he sounded great. And you combine that again with his fucking Clone Wars gear that he never wore as Anakin in the live action movies, but we saw him in that gear all the time in the animated series. Now we've got the
yeah, exactly.
And it's like, fuck. Like you've got all these elements from the live action Star Wars combining with the Clone Wars, and it's just it's fucking...
This is where like, oh, okay, you're into Rosario Dawson. You know, she's been the Ahsoka character. Like she's been selling it to us.
Yeah, and I'm down with it.
Everyone's been on board with it, and you've been following the story along, trying to figure out, okay, where are we going with this? All right, we got the Purgils, and we're Rebels season 5, and then all of a sudden it's like now you just made. Now this is a fucking this is live action. Now you've just when Filoni did this, it kind of crossed into that border of like you went from making something that was good to something great.
Yeah.
That's what did it for me. It was like I was so impressed with how that visually came at me that I was like, I have to watch this again.
Yeah.
Not that I need to for the show, not that I like whatever. I was like, I have to watch that again.
Mhm.
I have to make sure I'm not missing something. I have to make sure
Oh yeah.
that I fucking remember this.
Oh, and they throw so many fucking little Easter eggs and little
Oh,
just
yeah.
like a ton of stuff in here.
Oh yeah.
And before we get into some of that, I mentioned this young actress. Like, she did a phenomenal job as Ahsoka when she was having these discussions with Anakin, where she's like, all these clones died because of my orders, and
Right.
and he's like, well, you know what, you got to just keep fighting and keep going. And she's like, well, what if I don't want to keep fucking fighting anymore? And that's kind of again where you start to wonder how this all ties into that overall lesson, the live or die thing. And it's when she said that, Anakin's like, well, then you'll die if you stop fighting. And then that's when he charges back into battle, and you get this, oh God, this just incredible shot of him walking with his lightsaber extended to his side. You see his silhouette as he's walking away, a flash, and then you see it's Vader's silhouette with the red lightsaber. And then it flashes back to Anakin. I was like, oof, man, that was good.
Fucking great, man. Fucking great. I stopped at the house to let the dog out before I came over here, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, I gotta get my lightsaber. My red Vader lightsaber. I fucking forgot. I'm pissed at myself.
Yeah.
So this was the moment I was going to grab it and wield it.
Yeah.
Here on the show.
That is why you failed.
I know. I should just keep it in the car all the time.
Yeah.
I hear you, Jason, and that's what I should do. I should just have my lightsaber always in the car.
Right. There's we flash back to when they're combing the ocean.
We ain't found shit.
And Hera calls back to Jason, and he's like, oh, Chopper says that you need to get really low. And she's like, well, how low? And then you hear him go, she wants to know how low.
And it's like, motherfucker.
Yeah, and then you hear Chopper kind of go up. But I just thought that whole exchange was funny. Yeah. She wants to know how low. It was just a little funny detail like that. It's just like you're on a phone call and you're like relaying messages.
Chopper has the comm gear.
Right.
Like, Chopper should be like, just give me the motherfucking phone.
Right.
Jeez.
And who knows? That might be what he said.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, I just thought that was worth bringing up. Then,
oh man, I want to hear Chopper motherfuckering it so bad. Like, motherfucker, I'm a fucking mushroom cloud laying motherfucker. Fucking great.
So you're saying Samuel L. Jackson needs to voice Chopper?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, so the spirit of Mace Windu,
yes,
went into Chopper.
Yes.
That's how that works.
Exactly what happened.
All right. So we go back to Ahsoka and her vision, and now she's a little bit older. You can tell she's a little bit taller, and she's using the two lightsabers, because in the last scene, she still had her single green lightsaber that Ahsoka had at the very start of the Clone Wars. Right. Now she's got her dual sabers, and she's fucking fighting, and it is the Siege of Mandalore, because one of the first things you see is one of those Maul fucking Mandalorians.
Right.
And it's like, whoa, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
Over
you
here.
just added to your collection recently.
Yeah. So, and it's like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
Right. However, as G-Force brings up earlier in the chat, apparently Beskar armor is useless against Ahsoka in the Battle of Mandalore, because she stabs them right through the fucking chest plate.
Oh.
In that sequence, yeah, she
maybe they didn't have Beskar. Maybe they had a different material, because it was, they had to build it like in Maul's form. So, they didn't have Beskar readily available. Like when Maul took over, he's like, just use some,
maybe it was
plastoid.
Maybe it was from wish.com or something.
Oh, there you go. Like we need fucking, 100,000 uniforms that look like Maul.
Right.
Stat. Get them, China. They'll put them together real fast.
Yeah, got it from wish.com, came over on the fucking slow boat.
Yeah.
There they are.
Yeah.
That's all. Plus, it's a dream sequence. Like, it's not meant to be a shot for shot remake of what she was doing.
Sure.
So I think that we're meant to take some liberty on that. But I totally get what you're saying, G-Force. Like, we have instances of everyone surviving gut shots, and all of a sudden you're fucking you got Mandos and Wish Beskar, and fucking now they're dropping like flies, taking it's just
Yeah, pretty much.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. And again, we get Rex is here with Tamura Morrison's voice. We've also got the Ahsoka squadron clones that have got this fucking Ahsoka paint on them, and it's like, again,
Yeah,
we're coming
332nd.
we're coming full fucking circle with all this other shit that we've seen.
Yep. Oh man, so cool to see live action shit. Man, the people in the 501st that do the cosplay must be fucking just absolutely losing their shit.
Oh yeah.
They're probably involved in it. It's probably something like it was in The Mandalorian, where like, hey, we need a bunch of people in clone armor.
Yeah,
You guys-
501st. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Like, you guys all got clone armor, right? Yeah. So, hey, I need you to be at the fucking shoot. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I got to get in the 501st.
Hey, you got to work on your fucking armor, man.
I know.
It's in a pile in a box.
I know. It just takes a lot of work. But, so Anakin walks up to her. He's like, I don't recognize the battle. And she's like, oh, it's the Siege of Mandalore. And
We had parted ways by now.
yeah. And, they started talking. I can't remember what the exact dialogue was, but it started getting them back into a lightsaber duel, because she was like, I don't fucking want to fight, or I don't want to be just a soldier forever.
Well, no, it came down to what her legacy was. And, and it was him saying like, you are everything that I am.
That's
and then
right,
she's
yeah.
like, yeah, you were more powerful than anybody realized.
Yeah, and more dangerous. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, that's what this is about.
Yeah.
And he's like, gets all butthurt about it. And he's like, well, that's it. Nah, you didn't learn anything. We're starting over from the beginning.
Yeah, and that's when they started fighting. But then when he turns around, he's still got the baby killer hilt, but when he ignites it, it's red. And when he turns around, his face is all kind of like dark side.
Yeah, he's got his eye color changed.
Yeah, and his like skin's like a gray.
Yeah.
Like a slimy gray almost.
Right.
And then they start fighting again, and it's him fighting young Ahsoka. And even this sequence was fucking badass as they were fighting. And again, kudos to this fucking young actress, because all the dialogue with Hayden and then the fighting, fucking
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
And Hayden is doing what Vader would do. Like he was, like dodging one-handed fighting and
Yep.
dodging like both lightsabers. Like, okay, I can easily beat this child.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw it.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
And then he fucking kicks her through the fucking smoke. She pops back out into the world between worlds as now adult Ahsoka.
Right.
And then we get another great fucking shot of him walking up to her.
Right.
And
walking quickly, like
very quickly, with his lightsaber out ready to go, and it's like flashing between him and Vader.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "You lack conviction," and it's in both his and Vader's voice combined. And fucking goes back after her, and it's like, oh, such good shit. And so it goes back to old Ahsoka fighting Vader. And then she eventually kind of gets the best of him, and takes his lightsaber. And for a brief moment, she's holding it up to his fucking neck. It zooms in on her face, and you can see her eyes go to the red Sith eyes for a very brief moment before
like
she
reflecting. It's almost like it's reflecting the color of his lightsaber, but like having that symbolic thought.
Well, yeah, and I think it is. I think that might be more of what the overall lesson is too. Before she throws the lightsaber away and says, "I choose to live," because I think some of this, in addition to having to continue to fight to live, I think a lot of it also was her fear that she was going to become him.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's more of what all of this was about. Was this, her knowing what he became? He was her teacher. Is this eventually going to happen to her?
Right.
And I think that's what part of this was getting her over that. And, but yeah, she disarms him. She throws away the saber. She's like, "I choose to live." His face slowly goes back to normal. And he's like, "There's hope for you yet." And then,
Yep.
then, or was it doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we Wayne and Garth to where she's
Yeah.
basically fucking in the water, like fucking Jesus on the cross, just fucking.
Actually, I had a Lethal Weapon flashback.
Oh, there you go.
It was Lethal Weapon 2, I think.
Yeah, where they put him in the straitjacket and throw him in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend's down there.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
Swedish broad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible tragedy.
I know. I had to watch that movie with my parents. First time I saw it.
Lethal
It
Weapon
was,
2?
yeah. They had that sex scene where she's all like fucking naked and stuff, and I'm just like, oh god, this is so awkward.
Yeah, it's,
Like watching it with my parents in the room. I'm just like, oh man, what time it
what's
is?
over here?
Yeah.
It's like, is it almost bedtime? I don't even know.
Yeah. We should talk about the Lethal Weapon movies at some point on the
we
pod.
should.
God, those were good.
Yeah, I love that.
Mel Gibson.
The original Lethal Weapon with Gary Busey just before he went.
Gary Busey was in Lethal Weapon?
Yeah.
Was he in the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, he was Mr. Joshua.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Seems like I got to go back and rewatch.
That was Gary Busey.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
Yeah, before he went completely insane.
Yeah, and
Played an insane guy.
right.
So it was to character.
And then last year he rapes a woman here in New Jersey, but that's beside the point.
Was that last year?
That was last year, yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway, back to the episode. So yeah, they fucking pull Ahsoka out of the water because she's still alive, and she wakes up back in her ship with. It's really weird too because at some point they took her fucking her forehead jewelry off of her.
Yeah.
And she's just there with just like the fucking like the dome.
It looks really weird.
Yeah.
She looks naked almost. Like it's like she's really like vulnerable, weird look.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah.
Just seeing her without that fucking headdress that kind of separates, the skin from the leku.
Yeah.
And now, like every time we see Ahsoka, now she's in a like all white. Like it's funny because I didn't notice this until I saw this episode. Then I went back and rewatched some of the previous ones. A lot of the times when you would see Ahsoka, it would be in a very dark setting. It'd be either in the cockpit of the ship or in the forest where it's all dark. And now every time we're seeing Ahsoka in this episode, everything's all lightly colored, very brightly lit. She was basically resurrected as Ahsoka the White, right? Ahsoka the Gray died in the World Between Worlds, and now she's resurrected as Ahsoka the White.
Yeah, she got even the like as she woke up, it was when the sunlight hit her.
Yeah, exactly.
It was that poetic.
Yeah, and it seems like even her Leku are like brighter for some reason. But yeah, so she wakes up, she's got this like newfound energy. She senses what happened with Sabine giving up the map. And then we go to the most predictable plot point of the whole thing is
the Force Echo thing.
Yeah.
Has she had demonstrated this before?
I feel like she has.
Okay.
Like I thought that she did it at one point in this series too.
I couldn't remember. Like it was one of those things where when you played Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order so much, like you're so used to Cal doing the Force Echo.
Yeah, because that's like one of his like specialties.
Yeah, that you're like, oh, okay. I guess that's the thing.
Yeah.
So all right.
Yeah, but now the question is like, how prevalent is it with Force users? Can they all have some layer of that, or is it something that
I guess if it's there to give, then fuck it.
I like the concept of, certain Force users being better at certain things than others. Like some have that affinity for, force sensing from objects or places, whereas some just can't. They just can't do that. But maybe they're really good at like fucking force throwing fucking rocks or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And
picking up people and throwing them across the room.
Yeah,
that'd be way more useful to me.
Yeah.
Or reaching through the phone and choking people to death.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean obviously there's all like should be shared abilities that they can all do like force pushes and stuff. But like I like the idea of them having specialties, like a skill tree almost,
Yeah.
Like, Cal put all his skill points into force sensing.
Right. I mean, he can do other stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean, he can run on walls.
True. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. So she senses where, what happened with Sabine and the fucking map. And then of course, as soon as at the very end of episode 4, they fucking, took off, went into the fucking super hyperspace. I knew the way that they were going to follow them was with the Purgle. Like that that seemed like the most obvious plot point. And we went through this fucking long, it felt like a 20-minute sequence where they roll up to the fucking Purgle and Ahsoka goes out on the ship. Apparently they're not that high up because she was able to breathe just fine. And she like fucking force talked to
they weren't going that fast either because she could walk around outside the ship.
Right, yeah. Well, I think they were hovering at that point, in front of the fucking Purgle with his nasty looking teeth.
Well, whales don't have teeth. They have like basically just a series of louvers that let shit in.
Which is what this guy had too.
Space whales with fucking octopus asses.
Yeah. But anyway, so she talked to him.
Big octopus sphincters, like in a
Yeah. Now I was expecting him to just like grab the ship with its tentacles and kind of like cradle it and go, but no, he's like, no, get in my mouth. Ah.
Yeah, like here, this is how we go.
Yeah.
But that's not how Thrawn and Ezra went. They weren't like in the mouth of.
No, they grabbed the ship with their fucking tentacles.
Right.
But this guy's like, no, you got to get in my mouth.
Yeah.
She's like, are you sure? He's like,
in my belly.
Yeah, this is the only way. And yeah, they fucking shot off. There's this whole other sequence with fucking the rest of the fleet showing up and Carson trying to run interference. It was stupid that I didn't really care about.
Yeah.
But I was fully expecting, because the Purgle came out into that fleet that arrived. Like it was like those 3 capital ships and a bunch of other smaller fighters. Like I was fully expecting the Purgle to like grab all of those ships and go pew, and take off.
You're coming with us.
Yeah, just for like fuck it, because that would have led to a great a great moment in this other galaxy. It was like, okay, we've got our fleet. Thrawn's probably got some kind of a fleet out here. Let's fucking finish this. But no, instead it was just Ahsoka, and she called to Harry. She's like, I'll find him, and I'll bring him back. And it's like, may the Force be with you, and pew!
And scene.
Space whales, activate!
Yeah.
And off they go.
And she's all like, yeah, we're going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And Huang's like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, how do we know they know where they're going? And she's like, we don't.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Yeah.
Are you fucking nuts?
She's like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it.
Whatever.
YOLO.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's turned into fucking space Big Lebowski all
Right.
of a sudden. Fucking Ahsoka Lebowski.
Right.
Is what she's turned into.
Yeah.
Which she's got she's got almost like Big Lebowski kind of robes on.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah,
I peed on my fucking rug.
Really brought the room together.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Oh, Ahsoka Lebowski is fucking chilling in the Purgle mouth.
We gotta get Wally to do like
Ahsoka
Ahsoka
Lebowski?
with like the carton of milk and the fucking
I got a beverage here, man.
and the fucking robe and the white robe.
Oh my God, fucking! Every time I think about White Russians, oh God, John and I had a fucking night with White Russians for no reason. There's no reason it had to be all White Russians this particular night, but it was.
Right.
And it was we went up to the hunting camp, and fucking gunnery was involved. Like up at the hunting camp, in the fucking snow and ice and fucking fire and guns and
White Russians apparently.
and White Russians, a lot of them. Like, and Dave may or may not be fucking have some sort of lactose intolerance, and having all these fucking White Russians just not a good idea. Oh my God, it was so bad, Jason.
Yeah.
This may or may not have been a night where I fucking.
Did you puke in the snow?
No. I bled all over the place though, because I was using I had a pistol grip shotgun.
Oh my God.
Right.
How many drinks in were you at this point?
I don't even know. A lot. Pistol grip shotgun.
He's handling a firearm
many
whilst highly intoxicated.
Many times. Oh, I have video. It's fucking great. One of my favorite videos of me shooting of all time was that night. I think I still have my uniform shirt on. But I forgot that a pistol grip shotgun doesn't go into your shoulder, but I held it at like I was.
Oh no.
And I pulled the trigger, and a fucking thing punched me in the mouth. Oh my God, my fucking face exploded. And there was blood everywhere. And John and I were like, oh shit.
Did you check, make sure you had all your teeth?
Yeah. Well, that honestly, the first thing was where John was like, my dad's gonna see all this blood. Come on, we gotta clean up this blood. Dude, it was just a night, and it was because of White Russians.
Oh, it's good
I
shit.
got a beverage here, man.
Yeah. So anyway, Wally, if you're listening, Ahsoka in a white robe with a white Russian.
Right. Yeah, Ahsoka
Like
Lebowski.
that's just like your opinion, man.
That's right. That's just your opinion, man. Oh my god.
Anyway, so let's finish up this episode.
I have a headache just thinking about that night. And then the next day we split wood all fucking day. All day.
Oh.
That's why we went up to the camp, was to fucking, because there was a bunch of wood that had to get split.
Oh.
So we went up the night before and
Got
woke up
shit-faced and
bright and early, and we're fucking splitting wood. Oh my god.
well, you probably had a splitting headache. So anyway, let's finish up discussion on these two episodes. I mean, like I said, I fucking just absolutely loved the fourth episode, but this fifth episode was also fucking incredible. And I can see how a lot of people think that the fifth episode is the best, and I would not, fight them on that. I just, for my taste, I prefer episode 4 more. But they were both, again, phenomenal. And it gives me hope for the rest of the series, but at the same time, we got 3 fucking episodes left. And we still got a lot of ground to cover as far as I would imagine. We still haven't seen Thrawn, still haven't seen fucking Ezra, but that has to be where we go next, right? Because at this point, they're all blasting through fucking hyperspace. Next stop, fucking neighboring galaxy. So, there's not a whole lot that can happen in between, because there's not a whole lot in between one galaxy and another. So,
what if the Purgils run out of gas and get pulled out of hyperspace halfway there?
well, I would imagine they have some sort of
maybe they
of a
didn't
plan.
They didn't eat enough krill before they left.
Right. They
what
could have been
whales
like,
eat
who's
is
this
krill."
bitch asking us to go to the fucking galaxy? All right. I don't know if we'll make it, but
Yeah, I
fucking
don't
whatever
think we
you
have
want.
enough gas. That's oh shit.
Uh-oh. We're losing extensions. But I mean, I can't say enough about these 2 episodes. They were so good. And, for as just sort of there as episode 3 was, these 2 more than made up for it. And I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm already upset that it's going to end in 3 weeks.
Right?
Yeah, and who the fuck knows when we're going to get more Star Wars after this? Because the writers and the actor strike is still going on.
Yeah, there's still a strike.
Everything's shut down. They didn't finish Andor. The only thing we know for sure that they finished was Skeleton Crew, and rumor is that that's going to get delayed until next year. So I don't know, and I'm very upset about it.
Why are they delaying Skeleton Crew? Do we know why?
Well,
is that like a solidarity thing for the?
No, I think it's more just fuck, we may not have any content for 2024. We've already put out enough fucking Star Wars this year. Let's pump the brakes on this other show.
If only that had happened when they had Solo.
Oh, I know, right?
In a fucking can.
Yeah.
And maybe Solo could have been.
Yeah, they could have put in
So
a little
much
more
more.
time, a little more reshoots, a little more editing. But what the fuck do we know, right?
Yeah.
Clearly, the fucking heads at Lucasfilm know exactly what the fuck they're doing, because they know how to announce movies really well. And I don't know if you saw the latest rumor that now they're saying that the Lando series might actually be a movie instead, being developed with Donald Glover. And I'm like, whatever, sure. Just like the other fucking 20 movies that have been announced since fucking Rise of Skywalker that have not seen the light of day.
Why do we need? I don't know. Whatever comes out, I'll enjoy it. That's really.
Yeah.
what it
Oh
comes
yeah.
down to.
Yeah. No,
It's-
for sure. But I think right now we're about to hit a bit of a wall, because the content's not being made right now.
Yeah.
Everything's on fucking hold for who knows how long.
Yeah. You
like-
can't have this big of a hiccup with writing and everything else and not see it eventually in
Yeah.
the rest of the content.
Yeah. So I think this, as Ahsoka finishes up, this may be the last Star Wars we see in a while. But anyway, I don't want to leave this on a downer, because these episodes were just so fucking good.
Yeah, I agree.
I cannot wait for tomorrow night and to see what they have in store for us for episode 6. Oh, good shit, man.
Yeah. I
Dave
agree.
Filoni, you are a god, sir.
Yeah. No, there was one more thing I wanted to fucking bring up about this
Something about
episode.
Ahsoka and Anakin and the lesson and
Well,
whether
Yeah, no, about whether or not there's this whole discussion point about what this Anakin is.
Right. Yeah. Because
You know,
we never really got confirmation that he was really his Force ghost or anything.
if this was a machination of just her mind.
Uh-huh.
And I think my inclination is that the Force is giving her what she needs to be able to move on. Whatever that might be.
Yeah.
And Anakin is turned at this point, right?
Yeah.
So his ability to turn on and off, like, he knows what he is.
Yeah.
But maybe Ahsoka needed to reconcile what he was.
Yeah.
Like, not so much, hey, I'm going to show up here as Vader, or I'm going to show up here as a, hey, perfectly, good Luke or good Anakin. She needed to see him while he was what he was.
Yeah.
And then be able to reconcile with it. Maybe. But I think it was being in that world. I think it was the Force was showing her what she needed to see.
That makes a lot of sense.
Because
Yeah.
that episode could have went two ways. I was kind of expecting was that Anakin was going to be like some sort of, it was going to be an evil version of Anakin trying to turn her to the dark side. Like trying it was like some,
like if Anakin had survived kind of thing and not turned into Vader but was still evil.
right? Like, or it was the dark side or the Emperor trying to use Vader's or use Anakin as a tool to bring Ahsoka towards the dark side.
That's true. Yeah, that could be some Palpatine machinations.
Yeah.
Because as we know, somehow Palpatine returned.
Right. And we know Palpatine is good at shit like this.
Yeah.
He's got contingency plans for fucking his contingency plans.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting this the dude provides type thing.
Yeah.
But I like what they came out with. I like this because honestly, if Anakin never came on this, if we don't see Anakin again for the rest of the show, I'm 100% okay with that. He served his purpose.
Yeah.
Like if it was to show Ahsoka that she needs to be more fully committed to what this mission is, or into the light, then it served its purpose.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily need to see him again, except as a Force ghost at the end, standing there next to Balin.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yep. You see all their ghosts. All right. Well. Hey! She heard us singing and she couldn't.
I heard the song, so I had to come out.
Oh man, your eyes are.
This eye is really fucked.
Yeah, I think you've got a. Like, if you might need to go to the eye doctor. Like, you might have a problem.
It's like it's gonna fall out.
Yeah. Well, so I guess I don't need to knock on your dressing room door this week. So
no, you were singing a song.
Yeah, and then of course you had to. You couldn't be upstaged, so you had to chime in.
No, exactly.
All right.
You know what's up.
All right. Well, without further ado, do you want to get into the reads for this week?
Yeah. What time is it?
I got 7:43.
Did the one game kick off already?
Don't they not start until 8?
There's 2 Monday night games this
Oh,
week.
that's right.
Yeah,
I'll pull that up while you.
Some fucked up bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're doing that. It's
Well,
stupid.
they do it like every year. The first like 2 weeks of the season, they have like 2 Monday night football
but
games.
We're in week 2. They didn't do it last week. Why didn't they do it last week, Jason? Why? Explain to me how the NFL works, Jason.
Do I look like I make decisions for the National Football League? No, I don't.
With
is the
your
question.
Brock Purdy T-shirt on?
Yeah,
it's
fucking
pretty nice,
the
isn't it?
yeah the 2-0
Yeah.
49ers.
Yeah, look at you.
Yep.
All sweating it.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Carolina is up 3-0 over New Orleans.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I need Olave to get some points.
Yeah. Got a real barn burner going on over
God
here.
damn it. Yeah, good thing it's on Monday night.
Yep. Monday Night Football on NBC.
Yeah, every time. Every time you fuck up that song.
Anyway, what you got for us?
Let's see. Let me read the teleprompter.
That was me.
the show, head over to the Raid the Live. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the ATSW Family Happenings. Yeah, reading is fundamental, dumbass. Head over to the Raid the Live chat of Pop My Culture. Yes, do it. Panty raid the chat of Live Pop My Culture.
They're going tonight?
That's what it says.
What the hell is this? They're incurring on our night.
They actually, that's their night.
All right, whatever.
Don't you listen to when I do the thing?
Of course.
Chanty and Josh will be talking with Boobs, comic book author and illustrator of The Wheelers. Always a fun time, and there's Boobs.
Yeah, they got me with the thumbnail last time they had the person on for the
Boobs.
first episode.
Boobs, boobs,
Yeah, all I saw
boobs,
was that. I'm like, oh well, I have to click on this.
boobs,
So
boobs, boobs, boobs,
so they got me.
Everybody, boobs, 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 boobs.
Maybe we need to add you to all of our thumbnails. Maybe that'll get us more
I
clicks.
think we already do that, don't we? Isn't it all our TikToks and shit?
I don't know, not on YouTube though.
Uh,
Anyway,
Make
carry
sure I
on.
have a good eye on. Like this eye is a little wonky.
Yeah, it's your left eye that's kind
Yeah.
of like.
Yeah, don't go chasing waterfalls.
I fucking hate that song so much.
That's right, isn't it? The Left Eye was in that group that sings that song.
Yes, Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Oh my god, where the fuck did that come from?
I don't know.
How do my brain's weird.
Yeah.
No escape pod this week, but if you missed them and their fake news, check out their back catalog of shenanigans at ATSW The Escape Pod on YouTube. Yeah, fake news. Stupid piece of crap like you say. Only a couple people get that joke. On Sunday, Kim and Nicole were reviewing Chick Flick Ghost on Used and Abused. That's definitely a chick flick. Chick flick? Flick the chick. Chick flick the bean. Yes. We're gonna flick the bean with Chick Flick Ghost.
Oh my god.
The Chick Flick Ghost. With Patrick Swayze and the young Demi Moore. Right? Isn't that Ghost?
What? Yeah, I guess. Why are we talking about that?
Because Kim and Nicole are going to be flicking the bean watching Ghost.
Did they just like kick Scott out? Like, is Scott no longer part of Used and Abused? That's what it sounds like.
Hey, you know what?
He's
If
been
it
muscled out
works-
of his own show.
If it works,
I know,
if
right?
You get into clicks, get the girls on there.
Yep.
That works, then fucking do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. I don't have to do it. Drop.
And apparently they can't hear my drops, so.
What?
Are you okay?
This past Saturday, Snooch and LG reviewed Stranger Things Has Happened, chapter... Oh, every time I do this. Snooch and LG reviewed Stranger Things, Season 3, Chapter 6, E Pluribus Unum. Yes. Catch the replay at Stranger Things Has Happened on YouTube. Did you catch all that?
My penis so smooth.
Yeah, that's you, Jason.
Oh, come on.
My penis so smooth.
The Orange Adventure released My Big Fat Greek Weddings this past Friday. Find them on Spotify and Apple. And you will do it. Big Swede has been working on projects, but he hasn't released anything as of yet. My one ear not working is very fucking... It's like... Well, no, it's both my ears right now.
Oh, you can't hear anything.
Well, no, I hear one ear. It's weird. It's fucking weird. The
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah, it sounds
Maybe I had
weird.
a stroke.
Could be. Like, yeah, maybe your headset is fine and it's...
37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
I don't know what that has to do with anything, but... Should never have given Dave the soundboard.
Never. Should have never have done it.
I know.
So Big Swede hasn't released anything yet. Sub to Swede Studios on YouTube and give him a follow on the socials for updates. I know I saw a short where he's working and building a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking a piece of shit guitar. Piece of shit guitar.
I got a
I
piece
got
of
a piece of shit guitar.
the fucking pile of shit.
Never gets me very far.
Oh, what a great song.
What a pain in the ass. Oh, I love it. You should do the song there, Swede. You should do it with your piece of shit guitar.
Yeah, and you can give the background vocals. What a pain in his
What a
ass.
pain in the ass.
You never ever
He'll
get the
dub it.
pussy.
He'll dub my voice again, that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. Oh, that was a little more aggressive than I wanted to be. I'm still mad about the bank bullshit.
Yeah,
If I could force choke a bitch through a phone, that would have happened.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Layman's Terms took the weekend off, but check his back catalog of ignorance and drunken banter at Layman's Terms on YouTube. And our bro... Oh, look, there's musical notes. Aha, perfect. Our bro from the land down under.
Nice.
Where women glow and men plunder. Wally Frogmore has created a new Instagram account for his new amazing artwork.
Are those actual lyrics?
No.
Oh.
The music note stopped, and then it starts again. Can't you hear the thunder? You better run. You better take cover and follow Frogmore art.
All right.
I'll work on the rhythm section of that later.
And he needs to work on Ahsoka
Bye, Shanti.
Lebowski.
We miss you.
Good luck on your show.
Yeah, have fun with the boobs. You can find us. You can find us at bio.link/Sidebar Cantina, where you will find our links to Patreon, YouTube, our audio podcasts on Apple, Audible, and Spotify, and all music, all social media platforms, including X. Scroll too far. Including X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, and Discord. I wonder if they run into that with the teleprompters and like the news and shit. Where if it scrolls too fast and they're like, oh shit, it's right behind. I don't know what it said. Do you just stare at it?
I'm sure. Like,
or just skip words and say fuck it?
yeah.
But do it
Well,
live.
you know what?
94.
Nope.
Do it live. Do it live.
I'm sure the people that control the scrolling will probably know. Like, if they like are like, and like fucking stop at a certain thing, they'll scroll back up to fucking catch them up to where they
can you
left
imagine,
off.
like, drunk Tom Brokaw be like,
Reading the news.
Yeah.
I can't.
I can't do it. I can't switch between the two things. That's too much.
That's fine. Everybody's here for you.
It's too
so.
much.
It's drug Tom Brokaw. I just gotta let me say this. The talking head is just ridiculous. I'm Tom Brokaw.
Once you get your bio link, simply click the symbols under our pic to give your platform a choice. Also, you can find our past Spotify mixtape playlist, which we'll get one more of next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Also on our bio link is a T-Pop merch shop. We have our Jason Rose design. Watch my lips. The super sexy Twi'lek Sidebar chick, our beloved Hennifer design, F Cancer in an Armamesh, and a couple of From a Generous Point of View throwbacks. There are t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers, pens, wallet, magnets, notebooks, leather cases, pillows! Just about anything you can imagine. That's for emphasis.
Right. Yeah. It was a good job. I was really
Were you
moved.
Were you engaged?
I was.
Make sure you tag us on the socials with your Sidebar merch. Let's see. Reviews.
No new
Look how you jumped.
reviews.
That was great.
Yeah.
Please, pretty please. I'm Kim Jong-un all of a sudden. Please,
So Ron Reed.
please write us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. No, that's awful. Don't do that. There's enough cultural appropriation going on already. Don't do that. Please, God damn it. Please write us a 5-star review on Apple or Audible. Don't have an Audible account or an Apple account? Fucking loser. Our Facebook page is a review feature too. Just screenshot your review before you hit done. And DM us a pic on Instagram or Twitter. This is your chance to tell us your thoughts on our show. And Jason, Lamo, or Hennifer Lopez, that's me, or Hank, or Edith, or Mama, or Tom Brokaw, who Luna Girl sounds like the voice on Yacht Rock Radio, or someone fun. What? Refresh my memory. What's Yacht Rock Radio?
The Rebel Rock Radio?
Yacht Rock Radio.
I don't know.
Je ne comprends pas. No, that's not, I don't understand. Je ne sais quoi. That's, I don't know, right?
Yeah, I have no
Right?
idea what you're talking about.
French! French, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay, well then fine.
It's a pointless language,
Never mind. Yeah, I agree.
just like the people.
The only,
Fuck France.
the only, all those years of French, the only places I got to use it were fucking Africa and Vietnam.
Oh, the world is a funny place.
It is. Somebody follow, read your review word for word on the next episode. Let us know who you want to read it. Hey, you know what? They could probably. There's got to be something on YouTube too. Is there some functionality on YouTube? Maybe. I don't know.
To do what?
There's like the podcast playlisting thing that's on YouTube. I wonder if there's a review function on that.
Maybe. There's gotta be. There's gotta be like a way to review a channel or
Yeah,
something.
maybe
don't
do something like that.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then let us know you did it so that we can be paying attention.
Yeah.
Maybe Dave will look into that. Did you hear the door?
I did hear a door.
Hmm.
Oh well. Moving on.
If you're listening to us on audio, please consider joining us in the live chat on Mondays. The chat is most definitely where it's at. If you are new to Sidebar, please subscribe, ding that bell, select all to receive notifications when we go live, and remember to smash that like button. It really helps us out. And then, I keep saying I gotta work on this blurb for the Salvage Deep Space game. But check out salvagedeepspace.com. Find out information for playable XMX, where the solar system holds in store, and you can take advantage of that late pledge discounts on Backer Kit. Then the miniatures are way over there.
Yep.
By the feet of the blind guy,
Yep.
which would be impossible to see in the YouTube.
Yeah.
So we got to work on that. Got to work on a lot of things. But that's it. That's it for the reads.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we'll maybe see you next week. I think we really should hold to this no more Hennifer appearances until we get a review.
Yeah, maybe.
So maybe we'll see you
I
next
would just
week.
fucking give drunk Brokaw the fucking mic until
Yeah, we might have to
just be
until people get their shit together.
just be some mumbling and fucking burping noises.
Yep.
But you know what? Some people like that. Maybe that's the ass to mouth people or the ASMR people. Is that what that means?
ASMR. Yeah, it
ASMR.
means ass to mouth. That's exactly what it means.
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous? Like I love all the memes with the people that are fucking, like they're tapping on the Bentley and like opening doors and shit, and then they get like the guy in the fire truck.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
I'm sorry. I'm distracted. Apparently, we just paid fucking Iran $6 billion for like 5 people. So that's not going to encourage them to keep taking fucking U.S. prisoners. But anyway, I digress. What were you saying?
I don't remember.
All right.
I'm gonna leave now.
All right.
37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
All right, we'll see you next week. Speaking of next week, we are talking the music of 1997. 97.
94.
An interesting year in both of our lives for sure.
Yes.
And
And be prepared for a lot of Air Force jargon.
yes.
Because
Yeah, it was both of our first full year in the Air Force. And you know, we'll talk about all the music, and we'll tell you what we want, what we really want in our top 5 lists.
oh god.
Oh, so much happened that year. But that is it for now. Thank you, everybody, for watching us on YouTube. Thank you to all of our audio listeners out there. We love and appreciate each one of you, and especially our patrons, which, by the way, we just found out we have enough money on our Patreon to pick up another mic, so I'm going to get my fancy mic now. Hopefully it doesn't make static noises like yours.
I have a theory.
Okay.
We're gonna test that theory out once the recording's over.
All right. Well, speaking of which, the recording is over because we are done.
Right.
We will see you all next week. Until then, Dave and everybody else, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you. Okay, now what do I click?
And you have to click it now,
Yeah,
too.
now I click it.
All
All right, this is what I want you to do.
Okay.
I want you to reset your microphone for me.
Reseat my microphone.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. It is reset.
Now say something loud.
Something loud.
It's very weird
Yeah.
because when you break squelch like enough, it makes this channel vibrate, but it's not enough.
All right. Can I just...
You want to hear it?
Yeah, just so we know that you're not crazy or deaf. All right, talk.
Test 1 2 3 3 2 1. Test.
Yeah, this connection is really loose, but you said when you fucking swap the other ones in, it
Yep.
did the same thing, right?
Yeah, put a whole different set on. What the fuck? And I switched jacks too.
Oh, yeah, you switched the cable. What in the motherfuck?
I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Hello, say something again.
Hello!
Yeah, still nothing. Huh, I'll be goddamned.
Yeah, fucking weird, man.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can do some troubleshooting next week before we go live.
We could after we cold boot the
Yeah.
mixer might fix it.
That could very well have something to do with it.
Could very well be.
Yep. All right, are we done here? Should I end the live stream?
Yeah.
All
We'll, we will see everyone.
Next week.
You know, honestly, we could do small after shows
So, Schmo.
while I do the
The transfer?
the transfer. I mean,
Well, we didn't talk football yet.
we did not.
So, your boys won last week.
They did. It was another tighter than it needed to be game.
Yeah.
Which is upsetting.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you came out with a W, so.
Exactly. I'm just taking the wins as we can get them. The fucking football right now, it's just been unpredictable
Yeah. Yeah.
for some. Like, KC has been really wonky with how they've been playing.
And what's fucked up, too, is, like, Detroit beats them last week and then comes out and gets beaten themselves. I think that was an overtime game, though, wasn't it?
It was.
The Detroit game. So.
Yeah, some teams are coming out to play, and not that I'm against that. I mean,
Yeah.
I want competitive games, but fucking Seattle won. Oh God, it's
Yeah.
annoying.
It's the worst. It's
I-
almost as bad as the Cowboys winning.
So I was talking about our work today. My hatred for Seattle is very, very. It's really.
It's Pete Carroll mostly, right?
Yeah. Well, it's Pete Carroll in that fucking stadium.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, I mean, I liked Seattle. I liked the town. I mean, I had a good time there. Say cheese, Black Series.
The sacred Jedi
Pops.
Nope.
The sacred Jedi.
Where'd my sign go?
Which sign?
I had a sign on here that had told me what buttons I had. It was right there.
I have no idea.
You gone?
Did it blow away?
It was taped.
Wouldn't it be better if it all just blew away? Don't let it happen again.
See. I think
Is it on the floor?
I think there was some untoward shit happening. My seat was wet when I came in here. My pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah. Text Lunar Girl these pictures.
There you go. Why this should not take me this long to do, honestly. Fucking headache. Hopefully, it's supposed to be nice tomorrow, like with no rainy rains. Which is good.
I haven't looked at the forecast for the week. Is it going to be all 70s?
Yeah, it's supposed to be nice. So I got to figure out how to take advantage of that.
Yeah, this was the first week I didn't have the AC blasting for
Yeah, it didn't
several
have to cold
hours.
soak the room.
Yeah.
Like I said, as much as I hate the changing of summer into fall, these temperatures aren't nice. We were walking a dog, and it was just fucking nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you get that nice little in between before it becomes fucking freezing.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. I think is going to be transferred.
I'm taking one of these out of the package right now. I want to touch it. Where's that
Hello.
coming out of? Oh, it's coming out of the headphones. Okay, I'm like, what the fuck?
It was this monitor, I think.
Oh,
Coming out of that monitor.
okay, that was
Oh,
weird.
Everyone enjoy that. They're like an instant replay.
Yeah.
All right. So. Oh, damn you!
Oh, just hold it. Just touch it.
Oh, look at this guy.
Fucking badass, right?
That looks like a Terminator unit.
Yeah. Well, that's what it felt like too in that episode. That
Yeah.
season 2 finale, it felt like they were fucking Terminators.
Dude, look at the hip detail here. Let me show the camera real quick.
It's all in the hips.
Focus. Like you see, there's like some machinations in there.
Yeah.
Got some hoses and stuff in there. Oh god, it's so good. He's got a little hose going into his cod piece, so he can do some.
Keep his junk cool.
That's right. We can, pee realistically.
God, this is so fucking badass. Ugh. Absolutely love it. And there's hints of the stormtrooper costumes in this too. Got the little tube holes in the back. Like there's just like little hints of an actual stormtrooper in here.
I always looked at the things on the back like it was binary, like it was trying to tell us something
Oh, really?
binary. the lines on the back.
Yeah. Oh my god. I gotta pose this guy like beating the fuck out of Mando. Like punching his head into a wall.
All right, we're good.
Good to go?
Yep.
All right, time to end the stream, guys.
Bye, everyone.
We love you.
We'll catch some football
Yes. On NBC.
or ABC.